This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Norfolk Auto Center pregame show. At Norfolk Auto Center, it's Northeast Nebraska's volume leader, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. Live on News Channel Nebraska alongside Lou Siefker, I'm Eric McKay. It's a 2-hour drive through Nebraska's Sandhills to Bustle Park in Ord as we bring you this Class C1 quarterfinal matchup between the 4-seed unbeaten Blue Jays of Pierce and the 12-seed, after an upset last week, the Chanticleers of Ord. Lou, this is a team that Pierce has seen before. It has been a tall order to even keep games close against Pierce. The only team that has done it this year is the team that is the home team tonight. The Chanticleers trailed only by 6 at the half, lost by 14 to Pierce. With an asterisk, Pierce didn't have Dalton Freeman at quarterback in that game. They do tonight. This is a motivated team, almost at full strength, and after what we saw against Chase County a week ago, Pierce looks like they're trying for a deep run.
Yeah, Pierce looks scary good right now, but as you mentioned, Ord has been able to play Pierce close. Last year only lost by 16. That was the best regular season matchup. This year the same thing, and held Pierce to 28 points. You're right, Dalton Freeman's back. That makes a difference. Last game, Pierce rushed for over 500 yards against Ord. Just didn't finish drives. I think with the quarterback in there, that may change. But this should, if Ord can keep it close, you remember what happened last year, you never know. But it should be interesting.
Pierce had their best offensive output of the season a week ago in their 55-28 win in round one over Chase County. We'll hear from both head coaches, get you set for action. Coming up next, you're watching the Norfolk Auto Center pregame show on News Channel Nebraska.
I'm pleased to be joined today on Health Beat by Dr. Jason Bailey, a podiatrist specializing in foot and ankle surgery with Faith Regional Physician Services Orthopedics in Norfolk. And we're talking about Charcot arthropathy. And doctor, define this condition for us if you would, and explain how you treat it.
I'd be pleased to, Rob. Thanks for having me here today. So Charcot arthropathy is a progressive, basically collapse of the foot and the architecture of the foot. Most commonly seen in diabetic patients. What we see is patients that are neuropathic or have lost sensation in their feet. Some sort of an injury or trauma, and sometimes not even a trauma, will cause this extreme inflammation to attack the joints of the foot and the bones of the foot, leading to a progressive collapse of the foot. Now, I brought here with me a foot model, and we've got an x-ray up here on the wall to kind of show what happens in this disorder. So the joints most commonly affected are what we call the midfoot joints here in the foot. And as we can see behind us in this x-ray, we have complete collapse of the midfoot, which causes what we call a rocker bottom deformity. Now, this rocker bottom deformity creates a lot of pressure underneath the bottom of the foot. Now, when we look at our own feet, normally we have a fairly good arch, and that gives our foot a spring-like effect when we walk. Patients with Charcot, this collapse of the bone, creates this large deformity in what we call plantar pressure that most commonly results in ulcer formation or sores to start forming on the foot.
I see.
When these sores form, this puts these patients at a high risk for infection. Many times infection bad enough that it gets into the bone, and then we're talking about extreme limb salvage or amputation to help that patient go on in life and not have further complications. Surgically, we can fix this problem with what we call arthrodesis or fusion of the midfoot, the hindfoot, and also the ankle. This x-ray up here specifically is what we call an ankle and hindfoot fusion. We have fixed the ankle joint with what we call an intramedullary nail that goes through the heel and up into the tibia, or the big bone in the leg. And we have also fixed the hindfoot with a plate and some screws. Now, if you look at this foot here, you've noticed that the arch is now reestablished.
Yes.
And there is no further what we call rocker bottom deformity or collapse that would cause this patient to develop an ulceration. This is key that we find these patients early in the disease, and that we get them off their feet to prevent these deformities from happening, but to also prevent these infections from setting in.
Well, that is great information, and I appreciate you bringing those slides and the ankle over today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That's Health Beat, brought to you by Faith Regional Physician Services.
Head football coach of Ord, Nate Wells. Coach, what a season you guys have had so far, 7-3, and now you're in the second round of the playoffs. I think so far, offensively, it's really started with your junior quarterback, Zach Smith. He's really stepped into some big shoes, filling in for the All-Stater and Ulrich from last year. Got 1,300 yards passing, 800 yards on the ground. Just talk about his development as he stepped into those gigantic shoes.
Yeah, we knew last year Zach had a great chance to be a good quarterback. He played a lot of JV and did some good things, and so we were excited to see what he can do. I think he's kind of gone above and beyond what we thought he was going to do. He's been great. To fill those shoes of Jesse Ulrich from last year, he's just been tremendous.
Well, you guys had a big game last week. You avenged a loss to Gothenburg. The first Gothenburg game, I think Zach had 8 yards passing. The second game, 240 yards passing. How big of a confidence boost was that for him and really for your whole team?
Well, we just knew that we were going to have to throw the ball to be effective, and that first game we played, we played pretty well actually. They made some big plays in the game, and give them credit. And we knew there were some things that we could do in the passing game a little bit, and we were able to do it in the second game, and that was kind of the difference.
When you have a kicker, which a lot of Class C1 teams don't have, is a guy that can make field goals. Kellen Myers made 3 from 40 plus this season. That's got to be a real luxury for you to be able to get points when a lot of other teams are going for it on fourth down.
Well, I think he's the best kicker in the state. I mean, he's just tremendous. He never misses in practice, and we do a lot of simulations where we put him in spots to hit big field goals and long field goals, and he just seems like he makes it every time. He's pretty unbelievable.
We got a tough assignment tonight, a team that you've played before this season in Pierce, and a team that you played the last 2 regular seasons. Really gave them good football games both times. Lost 28-14 the first time this season that you guys played. Just talk about that ball game. What is it that you need to do better to get the win and advance in the playoffs here tonight?
Well, number one is we got to stop their rushing attack. I mean, they're just so physical up front. I've never seen an offensive line come off the ball like they do, and Coach Bramer does an amazing job with them. They play football the right way. They come downhill and smack you, and you just have to match their physicality, and defensively you got to get off of blocks and you got to tackle. If you don't tackle, you just don't have a shot versus Pierce.
Well, excellent, Coach. We really appreciate your time. Best of luck here tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
That's head coach Nate Wells. Stick around. More pregame shows coming up next. You're watching high school football on News Channel Nebraska.
My children have been involved in
Coach,
the sports, local sports, and I find it's a great value for my advertising dollar. I just think it's an awesome opportunity. I mean, the kids love being on TV. I love when you go to games and there's people there, and I just find that it's a great value that NCN can bring this all home to us, that I can be a part of it as an advertiser, and that it's great that our community bands together for these sports. I love being able to be showcased on TV that I'm supporting the local teams, and it's awesome that NCN can show the whole state what our local teams are doing, and I feel that's just an excellent benefit. I love that my advertising dollars reach even farther than Norfolk, Battle Creek, that my advertising can reach almost the whole state. You can't do that with a billboard or the local newspaper. You can't reach that far, so that's really exciting.
All right, welcome back to the pregame show, joined now by Pierce head coach Mark Bramer. Coach, a year ago, you guys went on the road, played Bishop Newman, and you got upset. Is that something that you address with your team to use as motivation, or is it just about the here and now with this ball club?
It's really about the here and now. That was last year. This is a new team. Obviously, a lot of guys are carryovers from last year's team, but, I suppose possibly that motivated those guys, in our summer training throughout the early parts of fall camp and then into the season. But, it's a different type of scenario, and we're just happy to be here. We've got a good football team. They do too, and we're expecting a good football game.
Well, you guys have been so dominant all year. I don't know that you've trailed in a game, have you, this season? And does that concern you at all as you get deep into the playoffs? That you're going to have some tough games you might be behind. Do you worry about how your team's going to respond, not having been there all season?
We really try to put our guys in adverse situations in practice, so we're prepared mentally for that. We do a lot of work on mindset training. And so hopefully if in any ball game, you're going to deal with some adversity. And whether you're up or whether you're down on the scoreboard, you got to be able to handle it the right way. And we always tell our guys, you got to handle it like a Pierce champion. You got to reset, and hit your reset button and get on to the next play and watch the last one.
One thing that you guys have done all season long is jump on people in the first half. I think the last 3 games it's been about 42-7 at halftime. The game against Ord, the team you're going to play tonight, last time was only 6-0. What did they do to kind of slow you guys down, and what do you guys need to do better tonight to get the win?
Well, they're a good football team. They've got good personnel, and so it's probably going to be a tighter ball game at halftime. We can't expect to be up 42-7 in a game like this with the talent that they've got on that side.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate your time. Best of luck here tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate your coverage.
That's head coach Mark Bramer. Stick around. The C1 playoffs continue. It's Pierce versus Ord right after this on NCN.
I'm Sharon Gossman, a nurse practitioner at Faith Regional Physician Services. I work at Neely Family Medicine in Neely, Nebraska. I really enjoy just every aspect of care, and that's why I chose family practice, so that I could take care of any age group. I am a mother, a wife. I think I'm a strong community member. I'm also a grandmother. So I feel like I have those qualities that people look for sometimes to give them comfort when they come in. I am very community oriented, and I feel like Faith Regional is community oriented. I think that the community has embraced the clinic in Neely, and we are there for our patients, who we consider to be our family. And I think that's what Faith Regional's philosophy really is to be a part of a bigger picture in supporting the community and to provide the best care that we can give.
And welcome back to the Norfolk Auto Center pregame show. Alongside Lou Seifker, I'm Eric McKay at Bustle Park in Ord as we get set for the 4-12 matchup in Class C1. Pierce Blue Jays taking on the Chanticleers of Ord. Kind of a unique situation in Class C1 tonight. All 4 games kicking off at 7 p.m. The winner of this one will face the winner of the game happening a little bit southeast of us, as Adams Central, the top seed, travels to take on one of the hottest teams in C1 right now, the Aurora Huskies, the defending champs, at home tonight against the unbeaten top seed. Then on the south part of the bracket, you've got Wahoo taking on Columbus SCOTUS. A game like this one, very similar in terms of being a rematch to a game earlier this season. And then how about those Wayne Blue Devils at home tonight in Wayne, America, trying to hand Ashland Greenwood their first loss of the season. And here, Lou, we've got Pierce getting set to take on, or let's take a look at the starting lineups for this one. And Lou, Coach Nate Wells talked about it. This is Pierce on defense. And I think, Lou, having Dalton Freeman on defense is almost more important, having him back from injury, than even on offense. What he does in the secondary to take away one half of a field, his ability to force turnovers really changes the scope of what a team wants to do offensively.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be big tonight, especially with an Ord team that likes to put the ball in the air. And if you've got a guy like Dalton Freeman that can make plays, turn the football over against Ord, that's a big get back, not only in the defense but also obviously as quarterback. He's a special player, and he could be the difference here tonight.
Meanwhile, Ord, they have a big 3 on offense. Zach Smith, the quarterback, and prolific in both the pass and running game. Over 1,300 yards passing, over 800 yards rushing. Tommy Stevens, they're going to need the sophomore to come up big tonight. 1,451 yards on the ground, but only 30 the last time these two teams played. When Pierce is on offense, there you see him. They've got 2,000-yard rushers in the backfield. It would be 3 but for injury. A-Strike went over 1,000 last week in the win over Chase County, a game in which he had over 250 yards, a career-high 258 yards rushing in that game. Meanwhile, defensively, Ord, a guy to watch, the junior middle linebacker Garrett Cluthy, 78 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, a couple of sacks. He's sort of the defensive quarterback in this 3-4 front that Ord likes to run, Lou, and they're going to need him to have a big game and take some of the pressure off the other defensive players tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing Coach Wells talked about was fundamental football. You have to tackle well, you have to get off blocks, you have to do everything fundamentally well if you're going to stay in a ball game with the Pierce Blue Jays.
Meanwhile, Pierce offensively doesn't go to the air often, but when they have, they found success with Garrett Meyer. Had a big catch last week and has been stepping up big for them in the passing game of late. 8 receptions for 167 yards and a couple of touchdowns for the Blue Jays this year. Well, here we go, Lou. You talked about it with Coach Bramer and how he said that they like to simulate adverse situations in practice. You can simulate it as much as you want, but it's when you actually face it that will be interesting to see. When this Pierce team, like you said, Lou, they haven't trailed yet this season. When that happens, how do they respond? I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys were here last year. They remember what that feeling was like. But as Ord takes the field, I think this is a Chanticleer's team that's going to have some confidence tonight, knowing that they hung with an unbeaten team a few months ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ord, again, we talked about it going back to last season. They gave Pierce toughest game in the regular season last year as well. They played him very tough this year. But Pierce has what I call the Mike Tyson syndrome. They just get off the stool and beat your brains in, and the game's over at halftime. They're like knockout artists. I think that's going to be important here in the first half for Ord, is how long they can hang around, stay with Pierce. We saw what happened last year with Bishop Newman, hanging around, actually took the lead, forced Pierce to come back, and then made plays. Can Ord do that? Can Ord stay close? If they can do it, certainly they have a chance to win this ballgame.
Well, if it comes down to what it did last year where Bishop Newman won the game on a last-second field goal, Ord's got to like their chances with Keelan Meyer, the junior. 7 of 10 on field goals. He's made 3 over 40 yards this season. Our game presented tonight in part by Faith Regional Sports Medicine, certified athletic trainers, physical therapists, and highly trained providers working together to repair and care for sports medicine injuries in Norfolk. It's Pierce, it's Ord, it's playoff football on NCN. Opening kickoff next.
1,300 high school touchdown balloons, 150,000 bags of popcorn filled, 525,000 napkins donated. At Midwest Bank, we feel it is the little things that we do for the communities that we serve that make the big difference. When it comes to banking, we can make a big difference for you too. Check us out online at MidwestBank.com. Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
My name is Lane Handke. I'm a family physician. I practice at Faith Regional Physician Services in Pierce, Nebraska. I think a primary care relationship should be one of a spectrum of care. Should be acute care, but also should be health maintenance and preventive medicine and those kind of things. And so if you have a partnership with your primary care doctor, that would imply that you have a relationship built on trust and open communication and cooperation. I think it's best to have somebody who knows you, who knows your history, who knows your medications, your past history. All those things are very important in taking care of someone in the way that they should be treated. When you have that partnership with a primary care physician or provider at Faith Regional Physician Services, you not only have that person, but you have a whole spectrum of specialists standing behind the person to support them if you need them, ready access to care and referral.
Nebraska towns, I think they've always just had a great yearning for their town and their history and their heritage and the successes they've had over the years. And just for that one moment, you know, they're looked upon as local hometown hero for, you know, maybe just for that one time, but it's something they'll never forget. And so we're happy to be a part of that as well. So, you know, highlighting the community and the people there. We get feedback from people who watch the games and see our name out there, and I know they appreciate it because they'll go back and watch games, or their relatives back home will be able to watch the game, and that's a great reason for us to be tied together with News Channel Nebraska. News Channel Nebraska covers the same area we do for a very good value to help promote our products, and again in a way that's reasonable for our budget. and it's been a cost-effective way for us to reach more than just one single community, Norfolk all the way down to the smallest town in our area. It's been a perfect fit for us as far as commitments to those communities and being a part of their everyday life with their schools.
Hello, my name is Melissa Celine, and I'm a nurse practitioner at Faith Regional Physician Services Family Medicine Clinic in Norfolk, Nebraska. There is a relationship you build with your primary care provider. They get to know you as a person. They can make recommendations as they get to know you and your health conditions, and tailor your health care more specifically to you as an individual. When you choose me as your provider, I want to focus on you as the patient, not on the disease. I care about the patients that I'm taking care of, and I want to know about all different aspects of their life, not just their medical conditions, and how those aspects can affect their daily health. We built a great group of providers in our community that offer the expertise, the care, and empathy that are important to many of the individuals in our community.
It is time now to enjoy the game. Thanks to United Healthcare, and enjoy it we will. Glad you're enjoying it along with us, alongside Lou Siefker, Will Ryan, and the truck guy, Eric McKay. There you see the home team, the 12 seed, the Chanticleers of Ord, here by virtue of a 26-20 victory over Gothenburg last week in the 5-12 matchup, a game in which quarterback Zach Smith passed for a season-high 240 yards and 2 touchdowns as they take on the 4-seed Pierce, unbeaten, 10-0 for the second year in a row. Head coach Mark Bramer, 196 wins, just 62 losses in his 24 seasons as head coach. Kellen Meyer kicking away for Ord. Back deep to return for Pierce, David Dale and Carson A-Strike. We are underway. It will be A-Strike from the 5. Looking for room down the far sideline. Boy, such great footwork from A-Strike. We were talking about that on the drive down here, Lou. Plenty of time to talk on the drive down here to Ord. And one of the things we talked about is the big improvement we've seen from A-Strike last year to this year. His footwork, he does things that you can't teach a running back.
Yeah, you saw it there, really galloping down those sidelines. But he's got the whole package. He's got the footwork you talked about, great vision. He's really a good north-south runner, but he's also got speed. He's the complete running back.
On first down, they're going to go Freeman with a keeper stacked up into the teeth of that Ord defense. Maybe a little bit of a gain. It'll be about second down and 7 rather, after that gain on the QB keeper.
Well, I think for Ord to win this football game, the first half, they have to do what they did last time. It was 6-0 Pierce at halftime the last time these two teams played. Pierce has only given up 27 points in the first half all season. So you got to play good defense and stay in a ball game.
We've got a penalty here, and this was an issue for Pierce last week where they had 12 penalties in the victory over Chase County last week, and we see the penalty here will be actually against Ord for jumping. So Ord called for the first penalty of this ball game, and in 2nd and 7 becomes 2nd and 2, and Lou, Pierce's is not an offense that needs help like that.
No, that's the other thing. There's a lot of things you got to do well. You got to play a great game, I think, for your Ord to stay with the Blue Jays.
From the 41, it's an inside give. This is Jeremiah Kuntrad. Not much. Tripped up line of scrimmage, that's all. A whole host of Chanticleers in there, and it's Zach Smith, the junior, the quarterback, on offense. On defense, 53 tackles coming into tonight. No gain. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Well, Pierce is so good on 1st and 2nd down, and the way they run the football, 500 yards against Ord the last time, over 500 yards. They feel pretty comfortable in this situation.
The Pierce bobsled team on 3rd and short. It's A-Strike bowling over defenders across midfield down to the 47-yard line. Give him 12 yards there and a first down for Pierce.
You know, the other thing we talked about, Eric, on the way down here is how Chase County had a game plan last week, and that was to take Brett Tinker out of the game. They did that. Brett A-Strike had 240 yards rushing on 13 carries. So when you try to take something away from Pierce, they've got so many weapons, it's very difficult.
The handoff goes to Tinker. 4 carries to 4 different running backs, and Tinker bowls his way across the 35 down to the 33-yard line. A 14-yard gain for Tinker, who does not want to be erased today.
You know, I know Coach Bramer, when I asked him about last year's game, do you use that as motivation? You know, it certainly is about right here and right now, but I guarantee the players are thinking about last year's game. This could be a statement drive for them to take the ball, first possession, take it down and score.
A strike in motion. They go Tinker up the middle. He bounces outside. He's got speed. He's got room inside the 10 and wrestled down at the 5-yard line. Keelan Meyer makes the touchdown-saving tackle, but that is a 23-yard gain, correction, down to the 10, not to the 5, but a big gain, and it's first and goal, Pierce.
Now, Brent Tinker is actually the leading rusher on the team. He's got about 30 yards, I believe, more than A-Strike. He doesn't look like he would be that fast, does he? Big, strong guy, but he can fly.
Yeah, for a fullback, he can move. First and goal now from the 9. It's A-Strike in motion. Freeman will keep. Huge hold, cuts up into the end zone. Touchdown, Pierce. You said it, Lou. A statement of purpose drive by Pierce there. They work their way into the end zone fairly easily, capped off by a 9-yard touchdown run by Freeman.
Yeah, we've talked about Freeman. There's Tinker. He didn't even get to block anybody. He was the lead blocker there. And Freeman does a good job to cut back there, get in the end zone.
Now Shaden Roth's extra point is up and good just inside the left upright. And on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard, Pierce up first, 7-0 on NCN.
We've been with NCN for many years. We've very much appreciated the ability to get our content out visually to the community and surrounding communities. I think that there are people across the state that are really excited to see their children or their grandchildren on television. And it does position NCN in a way that allows the community to understand you really do care about the community. When we put it on television and you can see it with your eyeballs and see how cool it is, it's really made a difference to have the imagery being able to be broadcast across the state, because people will travel for something unique and different. You build a business on relationships, and NCN has been able to build.
9-yard touchdown run by Dalton Freeman, 7-0 Pierce. Our first quarter presented by Region 4 Behavioral Health Services. Shaden Roth kicking off, angling toward the far side, fielded at the 14-yard line and driven out across the 25 to about the 26-yard line is Ord. That's where they will start things first and 10. All right, Lou, as we present the Region 4 Behavioral Health first quarter, Ord's got to find an answer now. The defense couldn't get it done. See what the Chanticleers can do with their prolific offense.
Yeah, I guarantee Pierce wanted to make that statement. They did it. They took the ball down the field and score. And I think for Ord, you have to try not only to answer on the scoreboard, but I think you got to try to control the football, limit the amount of possessions that Pierce has offensively tonight.
On play action, they go over the middle, too tall, incomplete. Trying to get it to Quentin Reese, had his first 100-yard receiving game of the season last week in their victory over Gothenburg. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and Zach Smith's got to have a big game here tonight. I think you've got to complete a high percentage of passes, try to keep Pierce's defense off balance.
In motion for Ord is Bentley Riley. We've got flags before the snap and fingers pointing. Ord moving backwards after their second penalty of the ball game.
Yeah, can't do that. Can't have penalties on either side of the ball. You certainly can't take yourself off schedule offensively.
So Ord moved back now to the 22-yard line where they'll face 2nd and 15. Pierce striking first on a Dalton Freeman rushing touchdown. His 9th of the season. Smith to the air. Far side has it, caught, first down. That's Quentin Reese out across the 40. Down to the 43-yard line, 21-yard gain, and there you see what Zach Smith can do with his arm.
Now an excellent pass, good route by Reese. A couple juniors connecting. So Ord's got a bright future even next year. They're certainly not ready to end this season yet.
from the 43 on 1st and 10. Fresh off their first down, here's the sophomore running back, bowling through defenders and fighting his way into Pierce territory. That's Tommy Stevens, junior, not a sophomore, still an underclassman, already over 1,400 yards this season and gets another 10 there.
Yeah, that's a statement run there for Stevens. Pierce really shut him down last ball game. And that was a big run there, 10-yard run on 1st down.
It's marked to the 48-yard line. They have not signaled 1st down yet. Perhaps getting a measurement here, or they're going to say 2nd and short.
Okay, 9.5-yard run.
Then now they're going to say 1st down. It is indeed a 10-yard gain. Took them a little while. Ord was lined up in their offense. They hadn't made a decision yet. So now the Pierce 48-yard line is where Ord will have it. 1st and 10. Couple of 1st downs here on this answering drive. Their first crack on offense of the game. The handoff, the bounce. This is Garrett Cluthy wrapped up from behind. Guess who? Team's leading tackler, Brett Tinker, the nightmare of a linebacker for Pierce on defense. Stops Cluthy for a gain of a yard.
Yeah, Brett Tinker, he tackles anything that moves. So just if you run his direction, he's going to tackle you. He's been a machine back there in that linebacker spot here for Pierce.
They gave Cluthy 2 yards, 2nd down and 8. That's Trejo in motion. They'll option. Trejo will block. Smith cuts up field. He can move. He's got the ability to run. 832 rushing yards coming into tonight. Gets across the 45 there to the 43. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, big 3rd down here. You're in Pierce territory. Again, we've talked about Ord winning that time of possession, keep Pierce's offense on the sidelines. You got to convert here. 3rd down and about 6.
Austin Trejo in the backfield. Now he splits out wide. Smith will keep into the middle, diving into that line. Won't get what he needed. It was 3rd down about 5. He only got 2 to the 41-yard line. 4th down and decision time for Coach Nate Wells.
Yeah, this would be an interesting decision. You don't want to give Pierce good field possession, but you almost feel like you have to convert here and go for it because of Pierce's ability to move the football.
That's what they're going to do. 4th down, call it 5 from the 42-yard line. Smith rolling to his left, pumps, fires, caught. 1st down, Ord. That's Trejo bringing it into the 35-yard line, gain of 7. Smith with time, and that's the key, able to convert for Ord.
Yeah, Smith rolled out there to his left, threw a strike to Trejo, who made a nice catch after, or as he was getting hit. Good job to secure the football. A big pickup there for Ord.
And here comes Ord, 1st and 10 now from the Pierce 35-yard line. On play action, Smith going wheel route, has a man too tall, incomplete, wanted Austin Trejo as he was flaring out to the right. It'll be 2nd down.
And Trejo had Meyer beat there. The ball just sailed over the head there. Had a chance for a real big play, did the Chanticleers.
So 2nd and 10. But a good answer, even if they can't get points here, Lou. We've said the way you stop Pierce is to keep their offense off the field, and that's what Ord's done here. That said, I'm sure Coach Wells would love to see some points.
Absolutely.
Smith up the middle, off the fake, finds nothing. Wrapped up, brought down immediately, might be a loss. That's Carter Rorick, who has been getting better as the season goes on. Wrapped up, brought down. As flags came in at the end, Alex Meyer in on the stop as well. You're going to get a face mask against Pierce.
Well, that's a big penalty against Pierce. You had Ord really where you wanted him, 3rd down and long. Now it's only a 5-yard penalty, so it's still 3rd down, but you don't want to give yardage back.
It's a big difference between 3rd and 10 and 3rd and 5.
Yep.
So 3rd down, or correction, sorry, second big
down,
difference between 3rd and 10 and 2nd and 5, which is what it is here. 2 receivers split wide, 1 to either side. Smith, handoff. That's Stevens. No. Yeah, Stevens kept it up the middle. He's stacked up out across the 30 down to about the 28-yard line, gain of a couple, and it'll be 3rd down and 3 coming up.
Now that hole really closed quickly. Pierce defense runs to the ball well. It looked that time like Stevens, he had a cutback lane, but again, he only got a couple yards off that. Now 3rd down about 3.
From the 28-yard line, they need the 25. And now a timeout called by Pierce. We'll take one as well. Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard shows a 7-point game on NCN.
The morning doesn't always start when you want it to. It starts when it has to. And day or night, we're up when you are. Through the good times, through the tough times, for the necessary and the unexpected. Even when you don't need us at all, we're just a light switch away. And when it's finally time to call it a night, we keep the lights on, ready to do it all over again. Nebraska Public Power District. Powering your everyday, every day.
Tonight's broadcast presented in part by Nebraska Loves Public Schools. To see what happens every day in our public schools, watch their films at ilovesps.org. Lou Siefker, Eric McKay, Will Ryan in the truck, the entire NCN Sports crew on hand at Bustle Park in Ord. Big third down here. Pierce burns their first time out. Ord facing a third down about 3 from the 28. It's Smith. Gets the corner, gets the first down and more out across the 20. Shoved out of bounds by Carson Astrike, but not before Smith gets to the 18. A 10-yard gain and Ord driving.
Yeah, third first down on this drive. And Smith, there's a good block there on the edge. Astrike had to come up and knock him out of bounds. Smith showed some really good speed there.
So now 1st and 10 from the 18 for Ord. Smith will hand off, not much there up the middle. Pierce is shutting that down. Tinker wraps up Stevens, brings him down immediately. Might be a loss. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, again, Pierce only has given up 27 first-half points all season. That's in 10 games. They've only given up 27 points. Tough to score on Pierce, obviously, in the first half. Or trying to get it done here. An impressive drive so far.
2nd and 11 now from the 19. Empty backfield for Smith. Pressure comes, gets it away, end zone, has a man caught, touchdown, and Ord finds the answer. In the end zone, Bentley Riley, his 3rd touchdown reception of the year, and the shunt to Clears answer the Pierce score.
I don't think Pierce picked Riley up there. I think coming up in run support kind of got burned, and Riley all alone back there in the end zone, or in front of the end zone, gets it in there. So what a fantastic drive for the Chanticleers. Another real statement drive this time by Ord.
Kick is up and good, and on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard, here we go. Tied at 7 halfway through the first on NCN.
No longer is going to the optometrist just about getting glasses or contacts. The modern eye exam now involves the diagnosis and treatment of ocular disease. The visual demands created by the use of smartphones and handheld devices has also changed the modern eye exam dramatically. At Othier Miller Pape Eye Care, they're committed to your health and eye care needs. With 6 optometrists, they have various levels of expertise to serve their patients and give them the best care possible. Why? Because your eyes deserve it.
Let's take a look at our Smile Cam, brought to you by Family First Dental. Learn more about all they can do for you and your family's oral health at FamilyFirstDental.com. We're not too far behind those folks celebrating the Ord touchdown. Alongside Lou Siefker, I'm Eric McKay. Touchdowns apiece here in the first quarter, tied at 7. Got a good one so far, partner.
Absolutely. Ord came to play. Now we'll see what they can do defensively against this very potent rushing attack from Pierce.
Meyer, an absolute cannon of a leg, drills that one through the end zone, and Pierce is starting at the 20. All right, so Pierce offensively showed what they can do. They ran the ball with 4 different players, marched right down the field with very little trouble. Can they do it again? That's the thing. Now the pressure kind of goes back on Pierce to find another offensive score.
Again, I know Pierce fans hate for me to go back to last year, but that's a similar way that game went, where Bishop Newman, probably not as good as Pierce talent-wise, but hung with them and actually forced Pierce to come back in that ball game.
Freeman will pitch. This is Krunterod around the outside. Flag comes in as he bounces out to about the 24-yard line. We'll check on the flag. Would be 2nd and 6. Still checking on the flag. It is indeed a hold against Pierce already. Pierce's 2nd penalty. Again, they had double-digit penalties against Chase County last week. Didn't affect him on the scoreboard. That would certainly affect them tonight.
Yeah, they had a lot of penalties, you're right, against Chase County, but were well in command of that ball game. And that's something we talked about on the broadcast is against better competition. Ward's certainly a good football team. You can't put yourself, again, behind the schedule offensively, especially a running team, a team that like Pierce that thrives on second down and third down in short situations.
So now 1st and 20, back up to the 10-yard line. Freeman will pitch. It's Tinker. Makes his cut. Almost back to the line of scrimmage, down about the 19-yard line, finished off by Stevens. Stevens, another one of the leading tacklers on this team, 9-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, it's a good tackle that time by Stevens. It's not much fun to tackle Brett Tinker. Excellent job, though, and that's what Coach Wells talked about, playing real, solid football, fundamental football. Make plays, you got to tackle well if you're going to beat Pierce.
Tinker already above his rushing total from last week, a season-low 26 yards. Here the carry out across the 25. A-Strike gets to the 27-yard line. Another solid gain. 1st and 20 in 2 plays has become 3rd and 3.
Yeah, and that's back on schedule as Pierce. 3rd down and 3, right where they want to be in those 3rd down and short situations.
3rd down, call it 3 from the 27. Freeman gets the call. He'll have 3 running backs behind him, 2 tight ends. Nobody split wide. Freeman hands off to the deep back, 1st down. And more fighting through contact is number 43. That's Dean Orwig, the senior, out to the 35-yard line, gain of 8. Already 5 different players have carried the football for Pierce this evening.
That's what I've always loved about Pierce, man. They got an army of guys back there that can hurt you, that can carry the football. Another thing we talked about was a guy like A-Strike or Tinker on a lot of teams, if they're the feature back, they probably have 2,000 yards. There's so many guys for Pierce that can carry the ball.
Orwig had over 70 against Boone Central Newman Grove a couple of weeks ago. Here's A-Strike, makes his cut, tripped up across the 40 to the 42-yard line. It's a gain of about 7, but there's another flag down on the far side of the field. And it's another hold against Pierce.
Oh, that's got to drive Coach Bramer a little crazy. Those penalties, that's just takes you out of your rhythm. You can see how well they're running the football and getting chunk yardage, that time it was a 7-yard gain, but it's all for naught due to the holding penalty.
And again, coaches will tell you the holding penalties you can live with because they're effort plays as long as they're not stacking up. Already 2 on this drive.
Yep.
This moves Pierce backwards. 1st and 20 once again for Pierce, back to the 25-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Tinker fighting his way through, still moving. It takes about 6 Chanticleers, and he still falls forward across the 35 to the 36-yard line. It's like trying to tackle a yak. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, Brett Tinker is like a sparring partner for the rodeo. Man, that guy's tough.
So it'll be 2nd down, about 9 after that incredible gain there by Tinker. You think he was frustrated about being held to 26 yards rushing last week?
Yeah, I think just a little bit.
Dale in motion. Freeman will keep. Cuts back, knifes his way across the 40, down to about the 42-yard line. And boy, the Pierce coaching staff's got to be going, if not for the penalties.
Right.
They've really got the running game going right now.
Absolutely, moving the football very effectively. And what that does here for Pierce, and especially with Freeman back there, eventually they're going to take a shot over the top. Ward's really coming up in run support. They're jamming them, loading the box. Eventually, Pierce is going to do a play action and go over the top.
Yeah, Ord really running only 1 safety deep over the top. That's Quentin Reese. On 3rd and 3, the pitch, A-Strike, tripped up shy of 1st down yardage. What a play in the backfield by Zach Smith. A-Strike saw the hole, couldn't hit it. It'll be 4th and 1.
Yeah, 4th and looks like a long one. And I bet you Coach Kramer's going for it here. Yep,
no hesitation as we look at the Althea Miller Pape Eye Care Consultants replay. Power eye on 4th and 1. A-Strike's got it. Coach Wells talked, Lou, in the pregame about how he doesn't think any team in the state of Nebraska comes off the ball better than Pierce. You saw it there. Coach Bramer feels like 1 yard will be a piece of cake all night.
Yeah, those big hosses up front, they're a load. They don't get near enough love, I don't think. They really have dominated this season. Great running backs, great quarterbacks, but that offensive line is outstanding.
On play action, Freeman wants to go over the top. Keeps it underneath instead. That's Dale, close to first down yardage. I think, Lou, the play was designed to go over the top. The deep ball, Ord had it pretty well covered. Still a nice completion. It'll be second and short.
Yeah, they were kind of playing deep safety there, so that time Freeman just threw the underneath pass and picks up about 9.5 yards. But they'll throw the ball intermittently here to keep that defense honest.
Double wing set, second down and short. Freeman will dive forward, gets just enough, I believe, for the first down. Out to the 43-yard line, got a yard, that's all they needed, and Pierce will have a fresh set of downs.
We talked about Ord certainly wanting to control the time of possession. This is what Pierce wants to do, is keep that football.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by United Healthcare's business partner of the game. That's Marathon Press of Norfolk. We thank them for that. Our first look at the chain gang tonight. They stretch it out, and it is by the no, he did not get it. So it'll be third down and about 3 chain links for Pierce here. But again, Lou, this is a down and distance that Pierce doesn't feel like they're going to have any trouble with.
Yeah, I think it could be the Ohio State Buckeyes. I think Pierce is going to go for it on third down or fourth down and inches.
I formation behind Freeman. Goes fullback. Flag comes in as Tinker rides the white wave out across the 40 down to the 37-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain. The flag thrown by the back judge, and it's another hold against Pierce. Oh, my. So third and short becomes third and 10.
Well, it's just maddening right now for Pierce. You just feel like they could, they're moving the football as it is, but you're just killing yourself with these penalties.
Wipes off a 6-yard gain and a first down, spot penalty. It'll be third down and 10, back in their own territory at the 48-yard line.
So you had the first down. Now that penalty just kills you. Now you're way behind schedule. As we mentioned, Pierce thrives on those second, third, and short situations. Now third down and 10.
Logan Moeller checks in. He's split to the right. Freeman on play action. Plenty of time. Far side caught. That's a strike. First down across the 40 to the 38 of Ord. 15-yard gain, and a strike has really become a good option for Freeman out of the backfield.
Yeah, good guy to catch passes out of the backfield. He's got good hands. That time Freeman starts out toward the right, goes back to the left, and hits a strike for a big first down.
Now at the Ord 38, minutes to go in the quarter. Freeman trying to dance his way through linemen, does so, finds opening, uses the referee as a screen, and he gets himself to the end zone. How about that? Dalton Freeman, 38 yards to the house, and Lou, you can credit the back judge with an assist there.
It always helps. Smart players know how to use those officials out there. Dalton Freeman, very smart player. Good cutback. You use whatever you can to get free. And, boy, Pierce, Ord's got to feel really kind of frustrated right now because Pierce hurting themselves with penalties, or are they? Because Pierce still, despite 3 holding penalties, still score a touchdown.
At this point, they're just padding stats.
Yeah.
Roth's kick is up and good, and on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard, it's Pierce 14, Ord 7 on NCN.
It's your favorite morning coffee place. Your hang out with your little one place. And now with special pricing on Showplace cabinetry, you can enjoy these moments in the design and showplace of your dreams. Remodel or new construction, we have an array of finishes and styles for your kitchen, bath, and home. The time is now to build a space for your lifetime of memories to share place with Showplace.
High school football on NCN presented in part by Pierce Dental. Let Todd Rogge and his staff give you something to smile about. Call them today, 402-329-6850, or check them out online at piercedental.com. 14-7 Pierce, 38-yard touchdown run by Dalton Freeman, and the field awareness there as he cut back had the official right there that he was able to use to slow up 2 defenders, and from that point on, you're not going to catch a lot of Pierce running backs from behind.
No, certainly not Dalton Freeman, a good athlete. When he's out in the open field, it's pretty much lights out.
Roth's kick short one, fielded on the hop of the 15. That allows Pierce to swarm upon the returner out to the 24-yard line where Tommy Stevens is brought down.
Eric, last time Ord had the football, very impressive drive, and they take it down. They get the touchdown. I believe it was the 3 third-down conversions in that. One was a fourth-down conversion. But anyway, they're able to keep the ball moving. Now they're faced with something no one's done all year. That's scored twice on Pierce in the first half.
Yeah. So now Ord will have it 1st and 10, split to the right, Kellen Meyer. Quentin Reese to the left. Zach Smith will hand off. Up the middle, Pierce not allowing anything. Ball's out. Ball came out. Pierce saying they have it. No official signal yet. Now there is. Pierce football. Stevens fumbles the ball. And Pierce comes up with it. Now we've got a Pierce player slow to get up at the bottom of that pile. Take another look at the replay here as the ball forced out by Derek Coulterman. And now a Pierce player still down. I believe that's Aiden Thielen that's down for Pierce.
Yeah,
we'll take a break. We'll sort out who it is. When we come back, we'll have more. You're watching high school football on NCN.
Need high-speed internet? Want the best in TV programming? There's no need to make countless calls to 1-800 numbers to get the services you want. Get both TV and internet with just one call to me, Wes, at Satellite Central. Everyone's needs are different, and we can help you find the best option for high-speed internet. And we've been providing TV programming from Dish and DirecTV for over 20 years. We have a local team of installers that you know and can trust. So make one call to us at Satellite Central.
Aiden Thielen was the player that was down for Pierce, getting helped off now with a noticeable limp. I believe it was Carter Rorick that came out of the pile with the fumble for Pierce. That would be his second fumble recovery of the year. Boy, we talk about Ord wanting to answer. When you play a team like Pierce, you've got to be perfect. You just have to. That's the way it works. And Ord, an imperfection there that gives Pierce the ball at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, you can't turn the football over and beat Pierce. If anything, Ord needs to win the turnover battle probably by +2 or 3, I think, to beat Pierce here tonight. And so already down -1. You got to come up now with a big defensive stand.
From the 23-yard line, it's Freeman, who already has 2 tonight. He puts it on the ground, and Ord got it right back. Ord got it right back. Out across the 20-yard line, it's Chanticleer football. Fumble picked up by Kellen Meyer.
Well, that's a big turn of events here. Fumbled the football. Freeman had it look like he had a cutback lane. Got hit, lost the football. So we just talked about Ord needing to turn Pierce over. They do exactly that on that play. So a 5-second drive that time for Pierce.
And now Ord now with 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. 3 receivers split wide. Smith on play action, looking deep down the seam, has a man in stride in Pierce territory. Freeman saves the touchdown, but it's caught by Quentin Reese. That's a gain of 41 and a first down.
Well, I think one thing Ord feels comfortable, or at least they feel like they can exploit Pierce, is the downfield passing. I think they like the speed from these receivers. And Reese did a good job, got behind the defense and forced Freeman to make a touchdown-saving tackle.
Now 1st and 10 from the Pierce 40. Pressure, Smith pressured for the first time, throws to no one really in particular. Officials talking it over, and there's the flag.
Yep.
There was nobody there.
I don't think that even got to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that
that's where the penalty lies.
They do call intentional grounding, and you're right. The ball had to get to the 40. It bounced before the 40, so that's a big penalty there.
Yep. You don't want to hurt yourself. You got the turnover. You stopped Pierce from scoring, and you're starting to move the football. I think Ord again. Really, both teams need to clean things up, but I think Ord, you can't make mistakes here and beat Pierce.
Call it 2nd and 22 now. Ball back at their own 48-yard line after the spot penalty. Ord couldn't get Pierce to jump. Now they call the play. Trips to the right, one receiver to the left. Smith, pressured, drilled as he threw it, too tall, incomplete, trying to get Riley on the skinny post. But Garrett Meyer absolutely blew up Smith as he threw that ball, third down.
Yeah, Meyer in there in a flash. Great job. Nobody touched him on the blitz there. Drills the quarterback Smith and made him get rid of that ball in a hurry.
Third down and a whole bunch. Ball at the 48-yard line. On play action. They're going to set up a screen. Pierce was ready for it. Great move by Stevens. Back into Pierce territory, close to first down yardage, and it'll be decision time for Ord when we come back. After one on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard, it's 14-7 Pierce on NCN.
We've been with NCN for many years. We've very much appreciated the ability to get our content out visually to the community and surrounding communities. I think that there are people across the state that are really excited to see their children or their grandchildren on television. And it does position NCN in a way that allows the community to understand you really do care about the community. When we put it on television and you can see it with your eyeballs and see how cool it is, it's really made a difference to have the imagery being able to be broadcast across the state, because people will travel for something unique and different. You build a business on relationships. And NCN has been able to build relationships with people in other communities across the state, and we strive to build relationships with our customers and tell them we do care and show them we do care. And by providing that information on NCN and putting it out there, the way our store looks, the way I communicate with people, I think it personalizes us, it makes it real, and NCN is real.
Second quarter, Ord throws the ball for 102 yards in the first quarter. They trail Pierce 14-7. Second quarter presented by D&L Towing and Recovery. Ord in kind of a weird in-between zone, going for it on 4th and 8 from the 38-yard line. Smith heaves one-on-one coverage, has his man dropped.
Oh.
It was in his hands. Quentin Reese had it behind Freeman, and Pierce gets a huge defensive stop.
That's twice Reese has beaten the Pierce defense, got behind Freeman, and if that pass is a little bit better, a little bit farther out in front, that's a touchdown. Fortunately for Ord, Reese had to come back for that a little bit, allowed Freeman to get back into that play, but and knock the football loose. So another big play defensively for Freeman.
So one turnover either side, neither of them do damage. Pierce has it 1st and 10 now from the 38-yard line. Here's a strike. He's got a bit of a convoy. Nice cut across the 45 and across midfield down to the 46-yard line. Lou, when we talk about vision, that's what we talk about. For a lot of guys, that's a 4 or 5-yard gain. For a strike, it's 17.
Yeah, he just sees the field well and does a good job waiting for those big guys to make that block, cuts back. And as I said before, I just think he's the total package back there at running back.
1st and 10 from the 46-yard line, double wing set. A strike in motion. They'll go up the middle. Not much for Orwig, maybe a yard to the 45-yard line, 2nd down. Great play there defensively by Garrett Cluthy.
That's what Ord's going to try to do, is to limit those chunk plays. You can get Pierce in 2nd down and 3rd down and long. You've kind of won the battle, at least you think you would.
Yeah.
Pierce is very tough. They converted on a 3rd and 10, so they're very capable, but you don't want Pierce in those 2nd and 3rd and short situations.
A strike in motion on 2nd and 9. This time Tinker falls forward to the 40, wrestled down at the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down, and call it 4 as they need the 36 of Ord. Brett Tinker again limited to 26 yards last week. He's already at 62 tonight on 5 carries.
Yeah, don't take him long.
3rd and 4 from the 40. Pierce after the 4th down stop. They've got the bobsled team in there, the Power Eye on 3rd and 4. Tinker, second effort, might have gotten it. Yes, indeed. It looks like he was able to roll forward across the 36, give him the 35. That's a 5-yard gain and a first down.
Well, Pierce so difficult to stop. You look at these running backs and their yards per carry average, it's just obscene.
Yeah.
Carson Astrike, 10.2 yards a carry. Brett Tinker, 9.3. And Mr. Freeman, who hasn't played a lot this year, but he's averaging over 12 and a half yards per carry. That's just ridiculous.
Those are obscene. Be careful. The FCC is listening. First and 10 from the 35. They go fullback hitter up the middle. Down at about the 32-yard line. Orwig squirted forward, but they say down after a gain of about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Well, so far, Ord has done a good job outside of that run by Freeman, not allowing the big play. But it's been very difficult to keep Pierce off schedule, and in those long yardage situations, got 4 on that carry. That seemed like one of their bad carries, only 4 yards.
2nd down and 7 from the 37. Dale in motion, movement all over the place, and Pierce gets a free 5. That was Riley Setlick jumping early. And Ord's 4th penalty tonight. 9 penalties in this game so far, rather 8 penalties in this game so far, 4 either side.
Yeah, both teams making some mistakes in this first half, but you're certainly for Ord, you don't want to give those 5 yards to Pierce. Now it's right where Pierce wants to be, and that's those short yardage situations.
They can open up the playbook. 2nd and 1 from the 26. Astrike in motion. Freeman wants to throw. Has time. Fires. End zone. Caught at the pylon. Did it get in? They'll mark him out at the 1-yard line, much to the frustration of the receiver. And that's Ben Bramer, who we saw suited up in the pregame, Lou. Ben Bramer, who's been out because of injury, back tonight and gives Dalton Freeman yet another weapon through the air, the freshman.
Yeah, big boost there for Pierce. Bramer thought maybe lost for the year, gets back in the ball game and already now makes a big play.
25-yard gain, 1st and goal from the 1. Bramer, just a freshman, by the way, had really been turning into quite the weapon on offense when the injury started. Now we've got a mistake. I think they're going to get motion on the line, so 1st and goal at the 1 becomes 1st and goal at the 6 on Pierce's 5th penalty.
Well, again, for Pierce, it almost seems at this point they're padding stats a little bit with these penalties. It hasn't really hurt them. They've had that's 5 penalties here in this first half, but really haven't hurt them. The only thing that's really hurt them so far in this first half for Pierce was that fumble when they had the ball fairly deep in Ord territory.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Tom Service, your one store in Pierce for all your needs. From automotive to snacks, fishing, park permits. Stop by Tom Service in Pierce today. 1st and goal from the 6. Handoff, Orwig. In a no man's land there, held up, drilled at the 4. It'll be 2nd and goal.
That's what you have to do if you're Ord. Fly to the football, get a lot of guys around those tough running backs for Pierce.
2nd down and goal. Ball at the 3-yard line. I formation behind Freeman. 1 receiver split wide to the right on 2nd and goal. Now the receiver in motion, that's Moeller. They hand off. Astrike trying to follow Tinker. Dives forward and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pierce. Carson Astrike's 13th rushing touchdown this season, and Pierce is up 2 scores.
Well, another good play there by Astrike. Just following the big fellas, following your blocks. That's it. We talked about, Ord needed to do fundamental things defensively against this Pierce offense, but probably nobody more fundamental in that running game than the Pierce football team.
And the extra point blocked by Ord, so it remains a 13-point game, 20-7 Pierce on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard and News Channel Nebraska.
People ask me what I want to be when I grow up. I don't know. All I know is where I want to be. A place where people believe in me and listen to my ideas. Where people care. Where everyone belongs. Where no dream is too big. My teacher says everything we need is right where we are.
She says all you have to do is turn up your dream switch.
There's a reason we call this place
Greater Nebraska.
Greater Nebraska.
Tonight's broadcast made possible thanks to Nebraska Community Foundation. No dream is too big. For a Greater Nebraska, turn up your dream switch. Visit nebraskahometown.org. Well, now Ord facing the situation so many have, a double-digit deficit to the Pierce Blue Jays. Their offense has moved it well, but they've got to finish.
Yeah, got to finish and got to make plays. They've had open receivers, had a chance for a touchdown, not able to execute on those plays.
Here's Stevens on the return, able to bounce off defenders, ran into his own man, bounces free. It's Stevens down the near side. Nothing but green grass in front of him. Tommy Stevens, no flags, touchdown.
Wow, what a play by Stevens. Looked like a pinball bouncing through that Pierce coverage. And next thing you know, he's out in the clear. What a play.
Tommy Stevens.
Watch him bounce around these Pierce. There's one broken tackle. There's a couple. Pulls away. Next thing you know, he's out in the open. What a play.
92 yards. Look at the Ord sideline going crazy as the junior makes it to the end zone.
What a momentum play there for Stevens. Now, we just talked about it. You're down 2 scores. What do you need to do? You need to answer. Well, how about a kickoff return for a touchdown?
Extra point is up. It is good. And how about that on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard? We got a 6-point game on NCN.
Raise your hand if you have a phone.
I'm literally living on my phone all the time.
There's no denying social media has influenced the mental health of kids. The challenges as a teacher has changed a lot because of that.
It's difficult for kids right now. They go home and it's constant, it's still there, it's always there. It never goes away, they never turn it off. That's gonna wear on you, that's gonna wear on anybody. We had no idea these kids were being tortured like this.
High school playoff football on NCN presented in part by Hometown Auto Repair for reliable, experienced, and trusted service on your vehicle. See Gary and the crew at Hometown Auto and Hayter. Call them at 402-371-7919. 92 yards. Tommy Stevens, the kickoff return, makes it a 6-point game.
Well, Tommy Stevens held to 32 yards rushing the last time these two teams have played. And talk about a guy that wanted to make a big play, did exactly that. Ord needed it. Ord right back in his football game.
Huge kick there, bounces off the back line of the end zone for a touchback. What a weapon Kellen Meyer has. What we just saw from Ord, not possible for Pierce if Meyer's going to keep kicking like that.
Well, Coach Wells said he thinks Meyer's the best kicker in the state. He might have an argument there. That was... You know, it's one thing, making extra points and even making field goals, but kicking the ball deep, not allowing returns is equally as big, and Meyer's been doing that here in this ball game.
Winner of this game gets either Aurora or Adams Central. Pierce starting 1st and 10 from the 20. Butler in motion. Handoff. Tinker bounces, cuts. What a cut by Brett Tinker. And now he's in the open field. It's turned into a track meet as Tinker cuts back across the 45 in Ord territory, finally wrestled down at the 43-yard line. Tinker would not give up, gets 37.
Yeah, there's probably few things less fun than trying to tackle Brett Tinker. Maybe maybe a trip for the dentist, maybe, I don't know. But Brett Tinker is a tough guy to bring down. And a good answer there for Pierce. They needed a big play. All the momentum right now on the side of Ord.
I imagine tackling Tinker feels like a root canal.
Yeah.
Jake Edens in motion to the far side. Handoff, this time a strike. He dances. Finds a partner, but it's not the one he wanted. It's Ord defensively making the nice play. Big number 65, Jesus Loya, the 285-pound senior, stopping a strike for no gain.
That's the other thing that Coach Wells talked about as far as fundamental play by Ord is getting off blocks. Good job that time by Loya just to fight through the block, make the play, not allow A Strike any room to run.
Loss of about 2. It'll be second call at 12 from the 45. Now A Strike, halfback pass, looking deep, has a man tipped away. Great recovery by Austin Trejo, and now a flag comes in. The pass intended for Garrett Meyer. Ord fans not happy about the laundry.
I'm going to say Trejo got there a little early. I'm not sure. If that pass is thrown just a beat or two earlier by A Strike, that's a touchdown because Meyer was wide open. It took a little bit of time to develop. It allowed Trejo to get back there and get on him. Let's see if there's early contact.
Oh, boy, I don't know. Coach Nate Wells was not happy about that call at all, and you can see why. That's a 15-yard penalty and a big one as Ord stopped Pierce's try to be Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, tough call against the Chanticleers.
So Pierce will have it 1st and 10 at the 29. I formation behind Freeman. One receiver split wide right. Handoff, Tinker up the middle. Churning his way across the 30. Down to the 25. It'll be second down and 6. Line of scrimmage there was the 31. A 6-yard gain by Tinker on his 8th carry tonight.
I love those fullback hitters to Tinker. He kind of looks like maybe a little smaller version of Corey Schlesinger out there at that fullback spot.
Adams Central leading Aurora right now, second quarter, 10-0. We'll keep our eye on that game. Winner of that gets the winner of this. Freeman trying to stretch it out, breaks a tackle, but here comes the cavalry, and Freeman not going to get much. No gain. If anything, it'll be 3rd down and 6 now for Pierce.
Now, these are the plays where Ord has to get off the field. They have to make a play. Now, Pierce obviously pretty deep in Ord territory, probably thinking 4 downs here. But for Ord, you've got Pierce 3rd and 6. You got to come up with a play and not allow them to pick up that 1st down.
3rd down and 6. Ball at the 25. They need the 19. Logan Moeller split to the left. A receiver to the right as well, and now we've got a stoppage, a timeout by Pierce. They'll have 1 left. We'll take 1 as well. 5:04 to go in the half. It's a 6-point game on NCN.
Fall is here.
At Farmers Pride, we offer multiple grain marketing options for you to maximize your profit. Our producer delivery grain program offers the best possible prices at local and regional processors, direct from your farm. Farmers Pride provides simple to understand strategies to help manage your current and future risk. So before you load up the truck, give us a call and let's discuss the best options for your hard-earned crop. Locally owned in Northeast Nebraska, your dollars stay in your local economy. Farmers Pride, in the field, on your farm, in your community.
High school football at NCN presented in part by Expressions Floral. For all your in-home decorating needs for the holidays or special orders for the holidays, call Pam at Expressions Floral and Gift Shop in Pierce today. That's 402-329-4514. Another Class C1 score, Wahoo all over Columbus SCOTUS early in the 2-7 game. It's Wahoo 28, Columbus SCOTUS nothing there in the second quarter. Here it's 20-14, Pierce leading Ord, but facing a 3rd and 6 at the 25-yard line.
Again, this is where Ord needs to make plays defensively.
2 running backs behind Freeman. He'll keep it. Sidesteps, fights forward, won't get there. They'll give him the 20, and that's it. It'll be 4th and about a yard.
What even seems like when Pierce, doesn't appear to be a big gain. They still get about 4 or 5 yards. Just really. Again, that offensive line doing a really good job. Ord's battling in there, but it's a big play here in this first half for Ord. Can you turn Pierce away on 4th and 1?
From the 20-yard line. Clock ticking, second quarter. Power eye behind Freeman. Oh, he thought he got Ord. They got back. Now Pierce snaps, hands off, a strike. It's going to depend on the spot. Let's see where they mark it. Driven backwards, forward progress just left of the 20. We're going to see a measurement here, Lou.
That's going to be really, really close. Good job by Ord. Again, doing a great job just getting to that football, getting there quickly, hitting a strike, not allowing him to get those shoulders square and get that head of steam going. Boy, that is going to be.
And now 2 local volunteers are the 2 most important guys in the stadium as they stretch it out. Didn't get it.
Short.
He did not get it. Huge stop by the Chanticleers, and they've got a crack at heading to the half with the lead.
Yeah, big play. That's exactly what Ord needed. Now, can you do it offensively? Big moment here in this ball game. Ord turns Pierce away on 4th and 1. You don't see that very often. Now a chance to take the lead going into the half.
1st and 10 now from the 20. Ord back on offense. Zach Smith with a man in motion. He'll option. The pitch to Stevens. Swarmed in the backfield, finds nothing, lost yards. And now a flag comes in at the end of the play. And Pierce clap, and this one might be on Ord.
Got a personal foul.
Personal foul. Oh, boy, this will be half the distance to the goal. Take another look at the Othniel Miller Pape See It Better replay. Watch on the left side of your screen, Smith. Oh, my goodness. That's your quarterback. Can't have him doing things like that.
Yeah, it gets chippy. You know, both teams play physical football, and they've played each other before, so you know, there's probably some guys talking down there, but you can't do that. You've got to keep your head about you. You've really got some momentum going. You can't make a silly play and give it back.
If we're being honest, though, does Brett Tinker fall down like that very often?
Not very often.
2nd and 21. Here's Smith on the keeper. Out across the 10, shoved out of bounds. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that was a really hard hit by Smith. Out across the 10 to the 13. That's a gain of 4. It's going to be 3rd and about 1.5 miles.
Well, real or not, that was a good play by Tinker to hit the ground. But so now 3rd down and long, not where Ord wants to be. Now we just talked about, Ord gets the football back, really rose up defensively, made the stop. Now they're 1 play away from giving Pierce the football back and probably in good field position.
3rd down, 17. They need the 30. They're at the 13. Smith fires too tall. Tip drill almost caught behind the play. Trejo was there. It'll be 4th and long. Pierce defense holds.
Almost a tip drill 1st down there for Ord. Good stand there by Pierce, and it's really set up by the mistake by your quarterback Smith on the personal foul penalty. Really put those guys behind schedule. We've talked about that a lot. Get your offense out of rhythm, and that's unfortunate for Ord because, again, you really seize momentum with great defense. Now Pierce is going to get another crack at scoring before the half. They're going to get really good field position out of this.
A-Strike and Moeller back deep to get the punt from Kellen Meyer. He's a good punter as well. Almost 39 yards per punt. This one a low bullet. Dies right in front of A-Strike. He was going to field it until it knuckleballed on him. Pierce will still have good field position at the 45-yard line. A great punt, though, 42 yards, no return. Pierce set up with good field position, 1 timeout, and 3.5 minutes before the half.
Oh, the one area I think the Chanticleers have won in this first half is the kicking game. They've done a nice job, whether it's not allowing kickoffs or in that case, not allowing a punt return, because it really looked like Pierce was probably going to have the ball on Ward's side of the field. Instead, started at their own 44.
From the 44-yard line, Dalton Freeman. Pierce stopped on 4th down their last time they had it. This time it's an inside give, the misdirection. Kuntrad makes the first man miss, got some real estate into Ord territory across the 40, dragged down from behind by Trejo. Huge gain by Jeremiah Kuntrad. The 150-pound senior finds his way to the Ord 32-yard line.
Kuntrad looked like he was going to fall down there. It didn't look like he was going to get anything out of that. Did an excellent job keeping his feet and keeping his momentum going forward. Once he caught his balance there, picks up an excellent gain. So Pierce on the move.
24-yard gain, 1st and 10 now from the Ord 32. Well, that's a Mark Bramer special, isn't it? That misdirection out of the double wing. Now they pitch to Tinker, looking for guys to punish. Hurdling defenders out across the 30, across the 25, down to the 22-yard line. It'll be close to 1st down yardage. They'll give him 9. It'll be 2nd down and a yard.
Well, Pierce gets 9 yards on 1st down. Good luck beating him. That's all I can say.
Exactly. Look at him. He can even hurdle now. He's got every button on the controller mastered. Usually more of a truck stick kind of a guy, though. 2nd and 1, ball at the 23. Out of the double wing, Freeman will keep. Cuts up across the inside defender and gets first down yardage. Able to get across the 20 to the 19. That's a 4-yard gain, plenty more than what Pierce needed.
Now, Pierce has plenty of time here, but they've already used a couple of first downs. So only one first down here at 2:15 and counting before halftime. So you can still run most of your offense, but you have to be careful with only that one timeout left.
So 1st and 10 from the 19. I formation behind Freeman, but inside the 20, you can let that clock run a little bit too if you're Pierce. And now we've got a timeout called by Ord. We'll take one as well. Minute 58 to go. Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard shows a 6-point game on NCN.
The morning doesn't always start when you want it to. It starts when it has to. And day or night, we're up when you are. Through the good times, through the tough times, for the necessary and the unexpected. Even when you don't need us at all, we're just a light switch away. And when it's finally time to call it a night, we keep the lights on, ready to do it all over again. Nebraska Public Power District, powering your everyday, every day.
High school football presented in part by Pierce Lockers. Want to try something different for Thanksgiving or Christmas? Well, call Terry about their famous tiger meat. Call them today, 402-329-4365 to place your order. Pierce Lockers, the freshest meat around. We are on upset alert in Wayne, America. Class C1 quarterfinal. They're in the second quarter. Wayne 14, Ashland Greenwood 13.
Wow.
How about them Blue Devils? Terry Bear has got a winner on his hands trying to shock the world up in northeast Nebraska.
Break up those Blue Devils.
First, that's a team that lost to Pierce 42-0 earlier this year, Wayne. On 1st and 10 from the 19, Freeman wants end zone, has Moeller. The diving attempt won't get to it. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, when you're talking about Wayne, it's a lot like Pierce a couple years ago, where it's not where you start, it's where you finish. Playing great football at the right time. Now here on this play, Pierce tries to fool Ord. A little bit of play action and just not able to execute on that one.
Close.
But, yeah, had a chance.
So 2nd and 10 from the 19. Double wing. In motion is Kuntrad. No handoff. Nope, Freeman keeps. Doesn't get much. He's folded in half out across the 20. Down to the 17-yard line. Clock keeps ticking. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Again, we're doing a good job down here in the red zone, playing defense, not allowing those big gains with Pierce, only 2 yards on that run. You got to think, again, Mark Bramer's probably thinking a couple plays here, and they're going to let that clock tick down so Ord does not have a chance if they were not able to score here.
How about 4 split wide on 3rd and 8? Wide open inside the 5. What a move by A-Strike, and he's in. Touchdown Pierce. Carson A-Strike. He's got a rushing touchdown and now a receiving touchdown, his 3rd of the season.
Yeah, we talked about that, Eric. Carson A-Strike has become an excellent receiver. And that time he's playing flanker out there.
Oh,
what a move.
Oh, my goodness.
Put a move on Kellen Meyer out there and got into the end zone.
He got Meyer twice, first on the out to shake him, and then again on the cutback to get into the end zone. Now Pierce trying to get that point back. They're going to go for 2. Freeman going to the air again, looking back to his left, has a man. It is caught by Bramer, and the 2-point conversion is good. And on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard, minute 14 to go before the half, 28-14 Pierce on NCN.
It's your favorite morning coffee place. Your hang out with your little one place. And now with special pricing on Showplace cabinetry, you can enjoy these moments in the design and showplace of your dreams. Remodel or new construction, we have an array of finishes and styles for your kitchen, bath, and home. The time is now to build a space for your lifetime of memories to share place with Showplace.
final score the last time these two teams played was 28-14. With a minute 14 to go in the second quarter, the score 28-14. Pierce with the lead. And alongside Lou Siefker, I'm Eric McKay. Lou, you want to stop Pierce, you got to keep their offense off the field. It's been the opposite of that for Pierce in this quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Part of the time of possession discrepancy for Ord is the fact that they had a kickoff return for a touchdown. But so far in this quarter, Ord has had the ball about 53 seconds in this quarter. Pierce has had it the rest of the time.
That will not get it done. The kick is away. Now Ord's offense, oh, look out. That's a live ball. They have no idea where it is. Ball is free, and Pierce saying they have it.
Wow.
And they do. Tommy Stevens just lost the ball, and Pierce can add another score before the half.
What a turn of events. And Stevens, just a moment ago, took one to the house. Watch this bounce. It just it was like a knuckleball bounce. He missed it, and then it bounces away from him.
Had no idea where it was. That's the worst feeling in the world. And it rolled, picked up by Colton Fritz, the freshman, with a fumble recovery.
Well, the football just does some crazy things sometimes, certainly did there.
And now the ball is exactly where it was just a few moments ago when Pierce scored from the 17. Here's A-Strike trying to stretch. Flag comes in as he makes his cut. A-Strike able to get into the end zone, but I don't think it's going to count.
Yep, flag down. I'm going to come back here.
That one's taking points off the board. It isn't. They set a face mask against Pierce. Illegal hands to the face, essentially.
Yep.
The call. That's the 6th penalty on Pierce this half.
Boy, that penalty might just have kept Ord in the ball game.
Yeah, you see it right there. Stevens was getting blocked, I believe, by Seth Valverde. It was Valverde in there that was blocking and just got the hands up on the face mask. So the 10-yard penalty. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah,
but more importantly, take 6 away from Pierce. So now back to the 22-yard line. But as we've said, Lou, the penalties have not harmed Pierce. They've just offered opportunities to pad stats tonight.
Yeah, that's what it's kind of amounted to. But I guarantee Coach Bremer not happy with the number of penalties.
It's the same play. A-Strike cutting, far side, spins forward across the 20, down to about the 15-yard line. If it worked once, go back to it, I suppose. 7-yard gain. It'll be second down.
Now as the clock is ticking down, Pierce still with one timeout, so they're going to hurry, get a play in here, and try to save that timeout.
Second down, call it 5 or 6. From the 15, handoff up the middle. Tinker bowls his way forward, rolled across his own man, across the 10. Should be first down yardage. Clock still ticking. And they're going to say shy of the first down there, so only a 5-yard gain inside of 20 seconds to go here. Going to the end zone, Freeman has a man. It's Moeller knocked away last minute. What a play defensively by Austin Trejo. He's made a few of those tonight in the defensive backfield. Clock stopped, 9-second, 4th down and a yard.
Had a chance there. He was at a step. Again, the ball a little bit, just a tad underthrown. So a big play in the game here for Ord. Can Ord stop Pierce? If Pierce scores here, goes up 3 scores, it's going to be very difficult to come back and win.
And now Ord going to call timeout, talk things over. We'll keep it here. Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard says 28-14. We'll take another look at that last play as I remind you that this game presented in part by Expressions Floral. For all of your in-home decorating needs for the holidays or special orders for the holidays, call Pam at Expressions Floral and Gift Shop in Pierce today, 402-329-4514. All right, so Pierce, 4th and 1. If they get it here, you got to call the timeout immediately, then you got one crack at the end zone. Or maybe a field goal. They also, in Chaden Roth, have someone who has kicked field goals this year and has been pretty good at it. 2 of 3. He's been good from 31 yards and in.
You wonder if that's not the conversation here. Do you want to try a field goal? A field goal gives Pierce a 17-point lead. I think if you ask Coach Bremer coming into tonight, would you take a 17-point lead at halftime, I think he would take it, 10 times out of 10. But it looks like the offense is coming out.
They do have the offense out there. I formation behind Freeman. A strike the deep back, Tinker in front of him. Freeman pitches, A strike, cuts, first down, ball's out, ball fumbled forward. I think Pierce kept it. They got it at the 5. That's a first down with 3 seconds, and now Pierce will call timeout. Huge break for the Jays there, Lou.
Yeah, you got to talk this one over. You use that timeout.
Watch the replay again. Watch this ball squirt forward.
Yep, ball bouncing there.
Brett Tinker came up with it.
Wow.
Saves the play there for Pierce and gives them an opportunity to get points before the end of the half. What a game this has been already.
We'll see how that fumble recovery may have changed this game. If, again, if Ward's able to stop Pierce, you feel like you've got some momentum. You've already stopped them once on a 4th and 1. Now you're turning them away again from scoring. Tinker recovers that fumble. Now Pierce has one play here. And again, the conversation is, do you want to try the field goal? Do you want to try to score and maybe put this game away? We'll see what the Blue Jays elect to do.
Winner of this gets either the top seed Adams Central or the 9 seed Aurora next week. They're playing that game in Hamilton County right now at the half. Adams Central 10, Aurora nothing. Here, Pierce sending the offense out. It's the Pierce offense that takes the field 5 yards out to the end zone. 2 receivers split wide. Freeman, it's a trick play. Wide open in the end zone. Did he get the foot down? He did.
Wow.
What a time for the first touchdown toss of the day from Abram Schulting, the freshman. He finds Garrett Meyer in the end zone. Wow, what a huge shot to end the half.
The gambler, Coach Mark Bramer. What a great call, though. And we liked that Schulting kid last week.
Yes, very impressive.
He's got a nice arm on him. And that's a great, well-executed play. Now flag flies here. We'll see. It's offsides on Ord. Now do you maybe go for 2?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to.
That was just an excellent call. Really had Ord off balance. And you use your backup quarterback.
You called it, Lou. They're going to go for 2 now.
Yep. Now instead of, you're about 1.5 yards from the end zone. And again, Pierce feels very comfortable with a yard or 2 to go in any situation.
Problem is Pierce doesn't have a timeout, and they don't have much time. And now the officials trying to figure out the spot. We got chaos, and now you're going to get a penalty against Pierce because there was just no – at one point you had 17 guys on the field.
Now the kicking crew comes back on.
just getting some gassers in before half, keeping you loose. That's all it is.
Yeah, I was out there jogging with Coach Bramer before the ball game.
Yeah, that's Coach Bramer for the pregame interview. He makes you work for it. Lou and Coach Bramer jogging to the camera pregame. All right, so Jaden Roth back out.
Even the broadcasters have to work when Coach Bramer's around.
So do defenses, it turns out. Extra point up. It is good. And on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard, we head to the break with Pierce 35, Ord 14. Halftime show coming up on NCN.
D&L Towing and Recovery in Norfolk. There to help in any situation, including off-road service. They don't let anything get in their way or slow them down. Major accidents, stuck in the mud, or just in need of a tow. D&L Towing and Recovery will come to the rescue 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Local or long distance, you only need to remember 2 letters, D&L. Visit DNLTowingRecoveryNorfolk.com or give them a call anytime at 402-371-7995.
I love the variety. Any given day I could be bolting on a bracket, or I could be making an electrical harness, I could be bending steel, I could be, I could be troubleshooting a hydraulic system, I could be any number of things, and I love that I'm rarely doing the same thing 2 days in a row.
And I just used that year to really research and figure out what I could do with a company that was willing to either reimburse me for tuition or have a school like the IBEW NECA apprenticeship provides.
Skills pay the bills, and students can get that career going debt-free.
The morning doesn't always start when you want it to. It starts when it has to. And day or night, we're up when you are. Through the good times, through the tough times. For the necessary and the unexpected. Even when you don't need us at all, we're just a light switch away. And when it's finally time to call it a night, we keep the lights on, ready to do it all over again. Nebraska Public Power District, powering your everyday, every day.
I am Kelsey Kreinert, and I am a family nurse practitioner. I currently practice in the Faith Regional Physician Services Pierce Family Medicine Clinic. I care for the whole family, and I thoroughly enjoy family practice, but I do have special interests in women's healthcare and pediatrics. I believe that providing high-quality care often requires a team-based approach. We're very fortunate that Faith Regional has a wide network of specialists right here in Northeast Nebraska who are willing to lend their expertise and provide top-notch care for our patients right here at home. I would like patients to know that I will take the time to listen to their story. I will take the time to get to know them individually, and it is truly my honor to earn their trust and to have the privilege of providing care for them.
What started as a $1 donation from Midwest Bank employees to wear jeans on Fridays has turned into $64,000 donated back to over 30 different organizations in the communities that Midwest Bank serves. Whoever said jeans are always a good idea was right. Midwest Bank, doing the little things in the community that make a big difference.
Oh, Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank.
The morning doesn't always start when you want it to. It starts when it has to. And day or night, we're up when you are. Through the good times, through the tough times. For the necessary and the unexpected. Even when you don't need us at all, we're just a light switch away. And when it's finally time to call it a night, we keep the lights on, ready to do it all over again. Nebraska Public Power District, powering your everyday, every day.
Need high-speed internet? Want the best in TV programming? There's no need to make countless calls to 1-800 numbers to get the services you want. Get both TV and internet with just one call to me, Wes, at Satellite Central. Everyone's needs are different, and we can help you find the best option for high-speed internet. And we've been providing TV programming from Dish and DirecTV for over 20 years. We have a local team of installers that you know and can trust. So make one call to us at Satellite Central.
Halftime in Ord, it's Pierce 35, Ord 14 in the 412 matchup Class C1 quarterfinals. Our halftime presented by Midwest Bank. They can make your person and business banking easier. With mobile banking, log on to MidwestBank.com to find out more. This is an era of statistics, advanced analytics, and things. You can come up with all kinds of different reasons and different measurements for why one team is better than the other. Lou Siefker, you have, in my opinion, the stat, the reason Pierce is up 21 at the break. Hit him with this one.
Well, it's been pretty amazing. In the first quarter, Pierce had the time of possession advantage, 7 minutes and 28 seconds to 4 minutes and 22 seconds to Ord. How about this for the second quarter? Pierce had the ball nearly the entire quarter, 11 minutes and 1 second. Ord had the ball 59 seconds. Now, one of those was a return for a touchdown on a kickoff. But one of the things that happens is Ord throws the football. They've thrown some incompletions that stop the clock. They just haven't had the football very long. And, of course, Pierce runs the football so well. They're selfish. They like to keep the football. They don't like to play well with others.
They do not.
And they didn't in that second quarter. They really hogged the ball, and that's why they're up by 21 here at halftime.
Sharing is not caring in a Mark Bramer offensive system. 18 minutes and 29 seconds time of possession for Pierce in that first half. just 5 minutes and would be 31 seconds, I believe, for Ord after that. That is an unbelievable time of possession disparity, and here's what that adds up to. It isn't that Pierce holds the ball a long time. They know what to do with it when they've got it that long. How about 357 yards of offense in that first half to 132 for Ord? We'll take a look at the highlights here. Check out how this first half shook down. This had been back and forth really till about midway through the second quarter. Here we're first quarter. Watch Brett Tinker bouncing off defenders, finding the edge. He's a guy that you don't expect to have speed like that. That set up Pierce with a goal-to-go situation. Finished off by Dalton Freeman from 9 yards out, and the Jays are up early. But Ord answers. Their quarterback, impressive. Zach Smith, look at this throw right on the mark to Bentley Riley into the end zone from 19 yards out. We're tied at 7 at that point. But then Pierce does what Pierce does. They answer in the personage of one Dalton Freeman, his second rushing touchdown, that one from 39 yards out. It's 14-7 Pierce at that point. Here's where things get crazy. Ord with the ball. They fumble as they're trying to just fight for extra yardage. The fumble picked up by Pierce. So Pierce with a good chance here. They fumble the football on the very next play, and Ord gets it back. So no harm done. Ord gets back on offense, trailing by 7. Chanticleer is trying to make something happen. They go to the air again. And again, I've been impressed by Smith. This was the play after the fumble, finding Quentin Reese, who got behind Dalton Freeman. Not easy to do, but Ord comes up empty on that drive. Second quarter now. Pierce set up with a goal to go from the 3. They got a lot of weapons they can go to in there. Carson Astrike, the one they choose here, follows his blockers and got in for his 13th rushing touchdown of the season. Pierce up 13 at that point. Here, Freeman to the air, wide open. It's Astrike again with the okey doke there. Poor Kellen Meyer left a couple of shoes out on the field after that. So Pierce is up big at that point. Ord needs an answer. They had a kickoff return for a touchdown. Then the very next kick, Tommy Stevens fumbles the ball. Pierce picks it up, leading 28-14. And then here's how the half ended. Mark Brammer, he's got the deepest playbook in high school football. The pitch to Abram Schulting, the freshman, hits Garrett Meyer on the far side. I think he might have got both feet down there. That might have been a pro touchdown, and that's how the half ends. Pierce 35, Ord 14. As far as individual stats, I've got Brett Tinker, 10 carries, 124 yards. That's pretty good. I've got Dalton Freeman, 10 carries, 70 yards. That's pretty good. The 2 touchdowns, even better. 53 yards on the ground for Carson Astrike on 10 carries to go along with a touchdown. You think they scripted that? All 3 of their running backs with 10 carries apiece?
I'm sure they.
Mark Brammer, they might have.
Yeah.
4 carries in the first half for Dean Orwig for 15 yards and a couple of carries, 24 yards for Jeremiah Crunterod. He has equaled his number on the jersey with 24 yards. Freeman through the air, 4 of 6, 66 yards and a touchdown. And then Abram Schulting, who you and I, Lou, have been impressed with the times we've seen him play quarterback, 5-yard touchdown pass. Ord, meanwhile, they've gotten it done through the air. Nice, solid first half for Zach Smith, 5 of 10, 102 yards and a touchdown. But Ord's got to be balanced to work, and they have not had it on the ground. Just 30 yards on the ground total. Tommy Stevens coming into tonight, 1,451 yards. Just 11 in the first half on 4 carries. 6 carries for Zach Smith. He's their leading rusher with 17 yards. They also gave Garrett Cluthy a carry for 2 yards. But again, Ord getting outgained right now unofficially 357 to 132. They're going to get the ball to start the third quarter, which is going to be a sigh of relief for Coach Nate Wells just to see his offense on the field.
Yeah, you don't want to go 3 and out if you're Ord. You want to keep the football. As we mentioned, Pierce just dominated time of possession there in that second quarter. And that last touchdown was big because you feel like if Ord makes a stop there, that would have been a couple of stops where Pierce had chances to score. And then you come out, you're only down 14. Anything can happen. That last touchdown, now it doesn't put the game away, but I think it makes that mountain that Ord has to climb that much higher. Ord has, you're right, Eric, as far as running the football. Stevens had a 10-yard carry, and he's got 11 yards, so he has not been able to do much other than that one carry. Only 32 yards the last time these teams played. Ord's got to mix it up a little bit. You're right. They've got to get a running game going. They've got to try to keep Pierce off balance. More than anything, they just got to keep the football. They got to be able to put together a drive, keep Pierce on the sidelines, and then if you're Ord defensively, you hope you can come up with a turnover or 2 here and give yourself a chance to climb back in this thing.
Here's a Class C2 score for you. This just in, Lou. Oakland Craig is good. At the half, they're playing the number 8 team in the state, Donovan Trumbull, right now. At the half, it's 44-8. Oakland
Wow.
Craig with the lead over Donovan Trumbull. Coach Joe Anderson got a pretty good one. How about this one, Class C2? We knew this was going to be a shootout. North Bend Central, BRLD at the break. It's North Bend Central 28, BRLD 26.
Wow.
That's going to
Good
be
game.
like that the whole game, too. I bet both those teams touch 50 tonight. Class C2 score, Battle Creek up 21-16 on Sutton. That is in the third quarter. Winner of this game gets either Adams Central or Aurora. The Patriots have just scored a 27-yard pass from Johnson to leave Spady. 17-0 Adams Central with the lead over Aurora. Here's the scope of things in Class C1. Wahoo, you might as well move them on. They were up 35 on SCOTUS. It's going to be running clock in the second half there. Have not seen an update in the Wayne Ashland Greenwood game. Last I saw, Wayne was ahead 14-13 in that game as they had gone to the break. They're still 14-13 in the third quarter. So Class C1 might get shaken up a bit if Wayne can get a win. And again, we're moving on to the second half here. What I think, Lou, we say this all the time, it feels like, but it's because of different situations, different scenarios. First drive of the third quarter might well decide this game.
Well, absolutely. I think for Ord, you've got to put together a drive. You've got to be able to move the football, try to steal some of that time of possession back, and certainly you have to end that drive with a score. You're down 21 against a very potent team, offensive team that can score. So not only do you have to score here, but you have to make some big plays defensively. Now, they had a few of those there in that first half. Need to put together a few more, and I think you're going to have to get a couple turnovers here on Pierce in the second half if you're going to have a chance to come back. Certainly, Ord, the way they throw the football, they've had opportunities downfield. I like that Reese has been running some good routes and has been open 2 or 3 times, has gotten behind the defense, had the one big pass. I think that combination between Smith and Reese has to be there here in this third and fourth quarter for the Chanticleers to stage a comeback.
35-14, Pierce with the lead at the half. Third quarter coming up. You're watching high school football on News Channel Nebraska.
We'd like to take the time to celebrate our military, both past and present, for all they do to protect our freedom and our country. All of us here would like to give thanks and appreciation on this day for the sacrifices made each day by our friends and family in uniform. Have a happy Veterans Day.
It's your favorite morning coffee place. Your hang out with your little one place. And now with special pricing on Showplace cabinetry, you can enjoy these moments in the design and showplace of your dreams. Remodel or new construction, we have an array of finishes and styles for your kitchen, bath, and home. The time is now to build a space for your lifetime of memories to share place with Showplace.
Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust believes as a locally owned community bank, it's important that we are a leader in supporting the local communities we serve. Financially supporting organizations that provide services to the needy and underprivileged, as well as organizations that strive to make our community a better place to live. Our employees carry on this commitment by serving on community boards, coaching youth sports, or simply volunteering to serve others. Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust, making a difference.
The picture's really clear, it's really close up, and it's kind of professional, like you're watching ESPN.
Or after a big game, lots of kids show up in my office and they're always talking about, wow, did you see that hit by so-and-so, or did you see that shot?
They really appreciate being able to see it. Whether they've got family that's out of town, they're able to watch it from afar, or even if the weather's not great.
And they're always so positive about our kids. They're positive about the officials and about the fans.
About to start the third quarter here in Ord. That presented by Region 4 Behavioral Health System. Alongside Lou Siefker, I'm Eric McKay. Will Ryan in the truck, the entire NCN Sports crew here at Bustle Park in Ord. So glad you could join us here on News Channel Nebraska and online worldwide at newschannelnebraska.com. It's crowded in the press box, Lou. I don't want to – it's cold out tonight, but I'm literally sweating right now in this booth.
Yeah, it's kind of like doing a ball game in the subway. Lots of folks up here, but we're all friendly, so everything's good.
Big thanks to everybody here at Ord for getting us set up. I know when you're an AD in the postseason, it's a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
You're getting emails from all over the place, where we ordering the T-shirts from, where's the bus going. Then you got media jerks like me constantly sending you emails. So big thanks to all the Ord folks here for setting us up. It's a gorgeous facility. First time I've ever been here. I love the setup here in the park. You got the trees in the background. Very, very cool place to play football.
Yeah, good-looking arena, and everybody, we're on the side where the Ord fans are. Everybody's excited. I look across the way. Lots of Pierce fans made the trip here.
They made the drive. Gorgeous drive through central Nebraska, the Sand Hills.
Pretty nice night compared to the other night when winter came a little bit early on us. This is as far as football, this is the type of weather I think the players fairly enjoy pretty much. It's not super cold, and it's not, the elements, it's not windy right now. It's not doing anything. It's not that cold. So weather not really affecting this game at all.
Yeah, no wind really to speak of at all. You can tell that here in Ord because just outside this park at the entrance, they're flying the second largest flag in the state of Nebraska. We'll try to get you a look at that later on this half. That thing is huge. You could see it as you rolled into town. All right, second half underway. Ord will start with the ball. Coming up the middle out across the 25, spun forward to the 29-yard line is Johnny DeRizo. And Ord will have it 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line with their most important offensive possession this season. There's that flag. Look at Old Glory flying high. That thing's
is
huge.
Awesome. That is awesome.
Second largest flag in the state. 1st and 10 from the 30. Chanticleers will split 2 to the left. You got Austin Trejo, Quentin Reese. Smith going to the air, far side, caught. Good pitch and catch. Great play immediately made defensively by Jake Edens. Forward progress will give them the 10 yards, though, they need for the first down.
Just 1 week ago, Zach Smith threw for 240 yards against the Swedes of Gothenburg and got them back from the regular season finale loss, and obviously got them into this game. You're going to need that kind of night, I think, if you're going to come back and win.
End around play, blown up by Pierce. Guess who? Brent Tinker was there for it, brought Austin Trejo down for a loss of 5.
Well, Brent Tinker is, how do you describe him? I think the best, you look up in the dictionary, you see the word football player, and that's Brent Tinker is the guy that you're looking at there. He plays it well, both sides of the ball. Excellent linebacker, really read that play, an excellent tackle.
Saw it on the Madison County Bank replay there. Here's the handoff to the workhorse, Tommy Stevens. Again, came into tonight needing 49 yards to get to 1,500. He's nowhere near that. He gets 4 there. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, 3rd and long now. Ord, we just talked about it. You didn't go 3 and out. You got a first down, the one first down, but you certainly don't want to punt the football away to Pierce with very little time of possession once again.
4 receivers split wide. Smith pressured, steps, fires late in the flat, caught but nowhere near the first down sticks. Tommy Stevens was the safety valve, and that's all. Play made by Valverde on the far side of the field, and Ord will have to punt to start the second half.
Exactly what Pierce wanted to have happen, and exactly not what Ord wanted. Ord, again, time of possession is huge in the favor of Pierce, and Ord only going to have the ball a little over 2 minutes here as they kick it away.
Kellen Meyer, good boot into this one. Lets it go over. A strike muffed by Pierce.
Ooh.
Logan Moeller able to fall on it. A strike let it go over his head. Moeller tried to field it on a hop, took a strange bounce on him. He was able to fall on it. Very, very good punt again by Ord. A 39-yard punt, no return. Take another look.
Yeah, Ord's got some really good kickers. That one just it bounced right up to Moeller. Moeller not able to handle that, and boy, that would have been a big play for Ord if you're able to recover a fumble there and set yourself up in really good field position.
First and 10 from the 19 for Pierce. Dalton Freeman sends Moeller in motion. They'll hand off up the middle. Tinker breaks tackles, still churning. Finally wrestled down backwards. Got across the 25 to the 28-yard line. Give him maybe 9 or so. It'll be second and a yard.
Well, again, 9 yards on first down. That is Pierce football.
Call it second and 2. They'll give him 8 there. But again, Brett Tinker gets 8 where a lot of guys get 3.
Yeah, everybody in that backfield gets about 8, 9, 10 yards to carry. That's just ridiculous.
They've got him at the 28-yard line. Call it second and 3. This time it's Freeman able to follow his blockers, roll backwards, sandwiched across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Gain of 6. That's plenty for Pierce to move the sticks.
I got to believe that if you're Coach Bramer here, you'd like a nice, methodical drive, tick that clock down and run the football, show your muscle, get that a 4-score lead, and then you're really in the driver's seat at that point.
I formation behind Freeman. That's Ben Bramer in motion. Handoff, Tinker trying to ride the blockers. Didn't find much. Out across the 35. Falls forward to the 37. It'll be second and 7. But again, Lou, first contact is 3-4 yards down the field. That Pierce O-line does such a great job.
Yeah, really good football players up front. Look at big fella there, Cage Heisinger, 275 pounds out there on the end. That's the kind of size that this Pierce offensive line has.
Edens in motion. Freeman fakes to the up man, gives to the deep man. That's a strike. Stood up. At least I think it's a strike. Who is that in there? That was indeed Carson A. Strike out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Again, a great gain, 4 yards. Sets up about 3rd and 3. But again, it's set up because when A. Strike is getting hit by an Ord defender, it's 3 yards down the field.
Yeah, a couple other guys on that line there. Dylan Swoboda, Carter Rorick out there.
So 3rd down 3 from the 41. They need the 44. The pitch, A. Strike. Got the edge, cuts back, first down across the 45, hammered at the 47. But again, Pierce able to get twice what they need on 3rd down and another first down. And here comes that Pierce machine just keeping the clock moving.
Well, watch here. You see the Ord defender shooting through, and see if you'll be able to see it. You got a good block out there by Meyer and another one by Tinker. Both guys on the edge blocking that really sprung that play for the first down.
1st and 10 from the 47. A. Strike in motion. They'll go up the middle. Tinker this time. It may take 4 Chanticleers, but they'll bring him down. Gain of about a yard. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, how many guys does it take to tackle a Buick? I don't know.
Lou, how much would it take? How much would you need to get paid to have to tackle Brett Tinker one-on-one with him getting a 5-yard head start?
That sounds like the worst idea I've heard since sauerkraut Skittles.
2nd and 9. The Pierce, here's Crunterod. Able to find first down yardage into Ord territory. Across the 45 down to the 43-yard line. That will move the sticks, I believe, for Pierce as he gets the 9-yard gain. Folks, if you try to tackle Brett Tinker, you might need our next sponsor, Pierce Dental. Let Todd Rogge and his staff give you something to smile about. Call them today at 402-329-6850 or check them out online at piercedental.com.
Well, Pierce really showing their muscle right now. Valverde, Seth Valverde, one of the guys out there, and Colby Reichert. So they got to give the big guys, the offensive line, some love. They're getting it done right now.
And Pierce works the clock already down to the halfway mark of the 3rd quarter. Taking their time. And a flag comes in. We've got a stoppage. I don't think Pierce got it off in time. Delay a game. That's the 7th penalty on Pierce tonight.
Yeah,
but it did work the clock down to 5:55.
Yeah. Yeah, you're running the clock. You're trying to milk it as much as you can. You just got to be careful that you don't milk it too far and then get that penalty.
So back to the 47-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15 now for Pierce. And again, the penalty does move them back, but it does give them the chance to melt another 25 seconds or so off the clock.
Yeah.
Double wing set. Krunterod in motion. That's who gets the pitch. Not much out there. Ord stretches the play out. Krunterod knocked down late. No flag. It'll be second down, no gain.
That was Smith coming over there hustling to make the play. And hit him right on the sidelines. I think that was a clean hit right there as he's going out of bounds. And a good hustle play there by Zach Smith.
Take another look at the Madison County Bank replay. You see Ord's defense able to stretch it out. Yeah, play at the very end there. And now Freeman on the keeper. He's able to stretch forward to the 40-yard line. 7-yard gain will set up Pierce with a third and about 8.
Well, Pierce on the ball game is 5 for 9 on third downs. So that's getting it done. That's a good percentage.
Very few things that they have done incorrectly. Krunterod back in there, the junior, on third down and 8 from the 40. A strike in motion. Inside give. Krunterod not going to get there. Ord all over it. Down about the 39-yard line. It'll be 4th and 7.
We'll see what Pierce elects to do if you punt the ball deep, and your defense has played pretty well. Only one offensive touchdown on the game. And I think that's what they're going to do, is force Ord to travel the long route to get the touchdown.
And here's another big part about getting Ben Bramer back from injury. He's their punter. They've been missing him out there. So Bramer, oh my, ball went between his legs. He's going to pick it up. Lost it again, ball still out. And Ord's got it. Out across the 35 to the 32-yard line. Kellen Meyer comes up with it. So the punter counterpart able to recover the fumble off the bad snap. A huge loss on the play, and it's first down Ord. That's a loss of 28.
Yeah, disaster strikes for Pierce. I think that's the right call, is to punt it away. You're up 21, but the bad snap turns into a disaster. And Ord now in great field position, about the 32-yard line, the chance to try to climb back in this ballgame.
That's Meyer's second fumble recovery tonight. 1st and 10 Ord from the Pierce 32, a break the Chanticleers desperately needed. Smith out of the gun. Oh boy, almost lost it, able to get the pitch away, but that slowed the play up enough for Pierce to make the play. That's going to be a loss of about 3. It'll be second down. That one never had a chance.
That was Tinker again. He's reading that play. He's reading exactly what's going on. You see him got off a block, got in position, and made the play. And that you're right, that pitch was nearly a disaster on going Ord's way, or Pierce's way.
After the loss of 2, 2nd and 12. To the weak side, it's Stevens. Hit hard out across the 35. Back to the 32-yard line, gain of about 3. 2, maybe 3, it'll be third down. Tonight's game presented in part by Tom's Service, your one store in Pierce for all your needs, from automotive to snacks, fishing, and park permits. Stop by Tom's Service in Pierce today. Going to the air, far side, tipped away, incomplete. A lot of traffic over there. Meyer and Reese both in the area. Edens makes the play on the pass intended for Reese, and it's fourth down.
Well, I think that's the man that Ord wants to get the football to, is Reese.
Yeah.
But now, fourth down and about 10 to go. You got to believe now at this stage in the game that Ord has to go for it.
The fourth down and 10 from the 32. Ord's got to go for it here. Season essentially on the line. Smith looking left, now back right. Has time, now it breaks down. Great coverage, ball's out, and Pierce gets the stop. Tinker makes the play. Play broke down, and oh my. Brent Tinker on the sideline, met by the coaching staff, and they are pumped up on the Pierce sideline.
Well, I don't know. If I see Brent Tinker running at me like that, I'm getting out of the way. I'm not jumping up with the guy, but what a play by Tinker. Another great defensive play. And Smith just tried to just fumble the ball forward a la Kenny Stabler trying to get something going. But watch Tinker come around. He sees that play breaking down. Great speed. We talked about his foot speed. Makes the play, probably the play of the game right now defensively. Pierce has the football with only 2:56 to go in the third quarter, up 3 touchdowns.
Goes down as a loss of 11. So 1st and 10, Pierce from the 43. The pitch. Here's Crunterod. Makes his cut, and he loses the football, and Ord's got it back. Scooped up by the Chanticleers. Picked up by Quentin Reese, and Ord gets it right back off the Crunterod fumble.
Wow, Pierce making some mistakes here, just not getting able to get out of their own way. You figure Pierce has a chance to put this one on ice. Instead, Ord gets another opportunity. Can the Chanticleers take advantage of this now? And a touchdown here certainly, again, gets them back in the ballgame.
Quentin Reese with the fumble recovery. So it'll be 1st and 10, Ord from the Pierce 39-yard line. It's been a wild 60 seconds of football or so. Zach Smith with the pitch. They're going to go halfback pass over the top. It's Reese. Oh, what a play there defensively by Logan Moeller to tip it off of Reese's face mask.
That is a touchdown if Moeller doesn't get his hand on that. That's a walk-in touchdown for Ord. Moeller just with the fingertips knocks that one away and breaks that play up. Got a flag down apparently. No flag. Okay, I thought they said there was a flag. No flag. That's
a 2nd down and 10. Boy, what a play there by Moeller. They fake the end around. Smith has some room up the middle. Hole closes quickly. Smith might get 3 or 4. He'll come up at the 37-yard line. 3rd down, about 7 coming up. Take another look at this play by Moeller. You'll see it coming right at your living room on the Madison County Bank scoreboard. Oh, what a play. Reese, like you said, Lou, he'd have walked in.
Yeah, that's an easy touchdown. Great play there by Moeller.
Timeout called, Ord. We take one as well. It's Pierce. Oh, sorry, injury timeout. We got a Blue Jay down. So we'll take a timeout, come back. You're watching high school football on NCN.
At Norfolk Auto Center, they work hard to give their customers the best value around. Plus, they offer a 5-day money-back guarantee on every new vehicle and a 30-day exchange period on any pre-owned vehicle over $5,000, so you can buy with confidence. Call or stop in today. They're conveniently located at 1123 South 20th Street in Norfolk, or shop them online at norfolkchevy.com. Norfolk Auto Center, Northeast Nebraska's volume leader.
Colby Rickert is the Pierce player getting helped off. That's good news for Pierce fans there to see him up and walking off the field on his own power. He was down for a little bit, injury timeout. Stops the clock, 2:23 to go in the third. We are trading possessions like baseball cards. It's Ord with it right now off the fumble. A big 3rd and 8 coming up here.
Another 3rd down situation for Ord. And they have struggled in this ball game. Only 1 of 6 on 3rd down. So they really need this one.
3rd down, really call it 7 at the 37-yard line. Pierce, everybody jumped. Now the flag comes in, and Ord will now get a much easier 3rd and 2.
Another penalty against Pierce.
By my count, that is number 8 against the Blue Jays. So it'll be 3rd down and 2 from the 32-yard line. Trejo in motion. They option to the right. Smith in trouble. He's going the wrong way, especially when that's the guy chasing you. You cannot run backwards when Brett Tinker is chasing you down. That's like a mountain lion chasing a gazelle. Tinker makes the big play.
Yeah, that's like Brent Tinker chasing anybody. He's fast. Look at that
speed. That's terrifying. That is, you know what that is? That's Zach Smith forgot he was playing football. He was just running for his life there. 4th down and 13.
Now, who needs missiles? You just put Brett Tinker out there. Maybe send him over to deal with ISIS or whatever. That guy is, wow. A heat-seeking missile out there.
So 4th and a whole bunch, 4th and 13. They're at the 43-yard line. Smith Steps up with the heave over the middle, deep. Moeller drops the interception. That actually works out for Pierce. They gained about 30 yards by him doing that. The Jays get the big stop. But again, credit Brett Tinker with a great play on third down.
And I think that was a smart play. I think Moeller dropped that intentionally. I don't think that was just a drop. I think he let that one go, and that's a smart play because you get the field position as you just mentioned.
Take another look at Moeller's play here.
Yeah,
he was trying to haul it in, but hey, it doesn't matter. That's all right.
Well, from our angle, it looked different. That angle it does show it. He was trying to catch it. Either way, it works out for Pierce.
Yeah, good play by Moeller regardless. 1st and 10 from the 43. Now Moeller split wide to the right. Pierce looking for the knockout blow here in the second round. It's Freeman on the keep. Makes a couple defenders miss. Huge cut. Freeman across the 35, still on his feet inside the 30. That's going to break it. Touchdown, Pierce, 57 yards. Freeman's third tonight.
What a game from Mr. Freeman, Mr. Dalton Freeman, if you will. What a player. And what a play on that one. You're right, that's a backbreaker for Ord. Ord had some opportunities, just not able to cash him in. And then
watch this play here.
Watch his cutback.
Oh. Kellen Meyer, that's the second time he's been juked like that tonight by Pierce. And Dalton Freeman, his third rushing touchdown. He's got one through the air. Roth's kick is up, and it is good. And on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard, minute 19 to go in the third. Pierce up 4 touchdowns on NCN.
Need high-speed internet? Want the best in TV programming? There's no need to make countless calls to 1-800 numbers to get the services you want. Get both TV and internet with just one call to me, Wes, at Satellite Central. Everyone's needs are different, and we can help you find the best option for high-speed internet. And we've been providing TV programming from Dish and DirecTV for over 20 years. We have a local team of installers that you know and can trust. So make one call to us at Satellite Central.
High school football tonight, college football tomorrow on NCN. They're playing for all the eggs in Wayne, America. It's the Egg Bowl. Wayne State taking on Upper Iowa, the Peacocks. Coming to town, the annual rivalry in the Northern Sun Conference tomorrow, right here on NCN.
And you have those like scrambled or over easy, or what's the...
Winner gets to choose.
All right.
That's however you want them. Blanched, doesn't matter. 57-yard rushing touchdown by Pierce. Might have been the dagger. Now Ord trying to find an answer. Here's DeRiso. Stacked up, doesn't find much across the 20. Down to the 24-yard line, and Ord takes over. And so Ord will have it at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Updating Class C2, Battle Creek has fallen behind as they head to the fourth quarter. It's Sutton 30, Battle Creek 21. In the third quarter, it's Wayne 21, Ashland Greenwood 13. The Blue Devils still with the lead there. The 11 seed trying to find their way to the semifinals.
There's something to be said about playing your best football at playoff time.
Certainly you could make that argument of Pierce. The handoff on 1st and 10 from the 24, spinning forward. That's Garrett Cluthy, gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Well, I think for Pierce, you're going to have a rare opportunity for starters to be playing into the fourth quarter here. I don't think anybody's going to come out of the game until this one's even more well in hand.
We have our first official semifinalist. Wahoo is on to the semis as this run gets to the 30. They defeat Columbus SCOTUS tonight 49-7. And the Warriors are just one game away from their first ever trip to the state championship game.
That is hard to believe.
Sure is.
That's a good football team, though, the Warriors have.
So another 3-yard gain there for Stevens. Third down, about 3 coming up. They need to get to the 34-yard line. Stevens, nice cut. Has a hole up the middle. Able to make the man miss. Stevens into the open field. Dives forward through the touchdown-saving tackle of Logan Moeller across the 25. to the 22-yard line. 48-yard run for Stevens. He's now over 1,500 on the season.
Yeah, big gain that time for Stevens, right up the gut. That's where he had the 10-yard gain in the first quarter. This one much more than that. Exactly what the Chanticleers need as we wind down toward the fourth quarter.
Last play of the third coming up from the Pierce 22. It's Smith on the keeper. Not much. He is sandwiched by a couple of Pierce linemen, brought down for a loss on the play of 2. Not the way Ord wanted the third quarter to come to an end. As we head to the fourth on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard, it's Pierce 42, Ord 14. Fourth quarter next on NCN.
My children have been involved in the local sports, and I find it's a great value for my advertising dollar. I just think it's an awesome opportunity. I mean, the kids love being on TV. I love when you go to games and there's people there, and I just find that it's a great value that NCN can bring this all home to us, that I can be a part of it as an advertiser, and that it's great that our community bands together for these sports. I love being able to be showcased on TV that I'm supporting the local teams, and it's awesome that NCN can show the whole state what our local teams are doing, and I feel that's just an excellent benefit. I love that my advertising dollars reach even farther than Norfolk Battle Creek, that my advertising can reach almost the whole state. You can't do that with a billboard or the local newspaper. You can't reach that far, so that's really exciting.
12 minutes of regulation football left here on NCN, your fourth quarter presented by D&L Towing and Recovery. Alongside Lou Siefker, I'm Eric McKay. Ord Chanticleers set up with a second down and about 11. They ended the third quarter with a loss of a yard by their quarterback Smith. He's out of the gun right now. Fakes the handoff, looking over the middle, dropped as a flag comes in from behind. It was certainly very aggressive coverage on Kellen Meyer. I think the officials are going to say too aggressively so.
Well, obviously give Ord a first down now and knocking on the door, trying to get this lead down to that's 28 now. If you get a touchdown and an extra point, that's obviously 21, and it's still a mountain to climb. The crazier things have happened, and especially the way Ord can throw the football, they have a chance to come back.
Makes it first and goal now from the 9. Meyer checks the sideline now, hold everything. I think we're going to respot this ball. They moved it forward 15 yards. I think it's supposed to be half the distance. I believe this ball should be at the 12 and not the 9. Let's go to our replay official, Ed Hockley. Oh, wait, we don't have one of those. That's what we need. We need one of those guys. We need an official in the booth with us. Now they are going to respot it. That's it was the 23-yard line, and it's a half the distance penalty. So they'll move it back to the, I believe, the 12-yard line where they have it.
The officiating crew credit. They talked. Yep. They got it right.
So first and 10 now from the 12. Meyer on the keeper. Dives forward, wrestled backwards. Folded in half. Forward progress gives him a couple. It will be second down and 8.
Well, for now, for Ord, down 4 scorers, you've got to really have some purpose to your play calling here. You got to get them in quick and run them quickly.
Meyer on play action, looking back corner, well covered and incomplete. Flag comes in at the end of the play. We've got 2 flags in the end zone. They were trying to get it to Riley. A strike on the coverage.
Riley lobbied for that call and got it.
I think we got another interference call.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to have. Riley was upset and vocalized it to the official. Official threw the flag.
It is indeed another pass interference against Pierce. This will be half the distance again, sets him up first and goal from the 6. That's 10 penalties now against Pierce. So first and goal. Oh, they do say second down. My apologies. Second down from the 6. On 2nd and 6, they hand off up the middle, out across the 5. Down to about the 4. Give them 2. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Not where Ord has done very well here tonight. 1 for 7 right now on the ball game. This is a very important 3rd down here for Ord. You got to come away with points here. You got to come away with 6 points on this possession.
Pierce calls timeout. We'll take one as well. 3rd down and about a yard when we come back on NCN.
1,300 high school touchdown balloons. 150,000 bags of popcorn filled. 525,000 napkins donated. At Midwest Bank, we feel it is the little things that we do for the communities that we serve that make the big difference. When it comes to banking, we can make a big difference for you too. Check us out online at MidwestBank.com. Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
High school sports on NCN presented in part by Hometown Auto Repair for reliable, experienced, and trusted service on your vehicle. See Gary and the crew at Hometown Auto in Hayter. Call them at 402-371-7919. 3rd down about a yard coming up for Ord here. Ball's marked at the 3-yard line. They need the 4-yard line. They need the 3 is what it is. Winner of this one gets either Adams Central or Aurora, and that young man's been the star on defense. Watch for him on this 3rd and short play. They'll pitch, try to get it away from Tinker. Into the end zone goes Ord for the touchdown. That's a 4-yard touchdown strike. First of the ball game for Tommy Stevens. His 16th rushing touchdown this season.
It was smart just running away. Time Tinker coming right up the middle, blitzing at that linebacker spot trying to make a play. They run away from him. Stevens able to get the ball in the end zone. And the heartbeat is still there right now for the Chanticleers.
Myers' extra point is up. It is good. And on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard, 42-21. Pierce's lead trimmed to 3 touchdowns. You're watching high school football on NCN.
The morning doesn't always start when you want it to. It starts when it has to. And day or night, we're up when you are. Through the good times, through the tough times. For the necessary and the unexpected. Even when you don't need us at all, we're just a light switch away. And when it's finally time to call it a night, we keep the lights on, ready to do it all over again. Nebraska Public Power District. Powering your everyday, every day.
High school football in NCN presented in part by Expressions Floral with over 5,000 square feet of in-home decor from Memphis, Tennessee. From high-end to country style, even stuff for the holidays. Stop in and see Pam at Expressions Floral and Gift Shop today. It's official. The winner of this game will get Adams Central. The Patriots defeat Aurora on the road 17-0. There will be a new champ in Class C1 this year. So the winner of this game, whoever it is, traveling to Adams Central next week. And if it's Pierce, by the way, you'll see the game on NCN.
Well, Pierce in the driver's seat right now, but Ord is not going away. Did what they had to do. Get that touchdown on the board. Now you got to make some plays defensively. Try to force Pierce to turn it over.
Myers kick. Fair catch called for. That's a smart play by Logan Moeller. Calls for the fair catch, makes it at the 32.
Now that time he meant to do that.
Yeah.
You're right. Smart play. Catch the football, secure it, don't turn it over. That's what Ord trying to do, that short kick, hoping that one of the Pierce upbacks mishandles it. But Moeller does a good job to secure the football, keep possession.
1st and 10 now from the 32-yard line for Pierce. And they're in the driver's seat because there's nobody better at melting clock in Class C1 than the Pierce Blue Jays.
Absolutely.
David Dale in motion. They'll hand off up the middle. Brett Tinker bouncing, fighting, losing it. Lost the ball. I think Ord's got it.
Wow.
Signal by the officials is still Pierce ball. Huge break there as Tinker falls on his own fumble at 2nd and 10.
Yeah, holding his arm there, too. That's not what Pierce wants to have happen here. Nearly turned it over, just dropped the football there. And fortunately for Pierce, Tinker able to get that football back.
We've seen the ball on the ground a lot tonight. You see Tinker flexing that right arm. You're going to have to rip off his arm to get him out of the game. 2nd and 10. A strike in motion. Freeman on the keep, dives forward, still fighting. How about the quarterback showing fullback-like strength across the 40 to the 43, 44-yard line, and Pierce moves the sticks.
Yeah, Dalton Freeman is another running back there. Showed great strength there and picks up a big first down. Keep those chains moving, keep the clock rolling. Up 21. It's Pierce's game to lose at this point.
Freeman 145 yards on 13 carries and 3 touchdowns. Hands off here to Tinker. Tinker wrestled down across the 45. Down to about the 46, it'll be 2nd down. So that's 2 runners over the century mark for Pierce today. Tinker got that in the first half.
I don't know, Eric. I think if you tore his arm off, he'd still play.
That's probably. Tinker with 138 yards on 15 carries. 2nd and 7. A strike. He says, I want 100. Not going to get it there. Stacked up about 5 Chanticleers driving backwards. Forward progress will get him to 49. Another 2 yards. 3rd and 5 coming up. And so the gain gets him just shy of midfield.
How'd you like to be the defensive coordinator that's trying to prepare to play Pierce? What do you take away from this offense? It's so many weapons out there.
A strike, if you're wondering, it's 72 yards on the ground on 14 carries. 3rd down 5 from the 49. And the clock keeps melting. It's a strike on the cut. 1st down and more into Ord territory. Breaking tackle still down the far sideline, and A strike's gone. Well, he got his 100. 51 yards to the house, and Pierce may very well have just put this game away.
Yeah, that might be the dagger right there. 8:37 to go. And now you're back up by 28 points. And what a run by...
Oh, the stiff arm there.
Yeah, what a run by A-Strike.
Goodness.
Strength, speed, the whole package. This Pierce football team has so many weapons. You just saw one of them there in Carson A-Strike.
That's the backbreaker, Roth. On for the extra point. High snap, hold is down. A nice job there by the holder, Freeman, to get it down. Roth's kick up. It is good. It's 49-21. Pierce with the lead on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard and NCN.
No longer is going to the optometrist just about getting glasses or contacts. The modern eye exam now involves the diagnosis and treatment of ocular disease. The visual demands created by the use of smartphones and handheld devices has also changed the modern eye exam dramatically. At Othier Miller Pape Eye Care, they're committed to your health and eye care needs. With 6 optometrists, they have various levels of expertise to serve their patients and give them the best care possible. Why? Because your eyes deserve it.
Looks like it's going to be Pierce Adams Central, the 1-4 in the semifinals next week. This game brought to you in part by Pierce Lockers. You want to try something different for Thanksgiving or Christmas? Why not give Terry a call about his famous tiger meat? Call him today, 402-329-4365 to place your order. Pierce Lockers, freshest meat around. Tommy Stevens had a 92-yard kick return for a touchdown earlier today. Here a solid return out across the 35, about the 37-yard line, where the Chanticleers start things 1st and 10, needing points as quickly as possible.
Yeah, now the rest of the ball game offensively for Ord, there's got to be great urgency. Got to get plays in and execute them quickly, get back up to the line of scrimmage, and continue to go. Just not enough time to take your time.
1st and 10 from the 32. The handoff, Stevens looking for something, finds nothing. You can't dance around in the backfield. You got to be more decisive against a Pierce defensive line. I think that's a loss on the play. It'll be second down.
Yeah, look like got some fresh players coming in. There's some clean jerseys. That's your telltale sign. You got some subs coming in.
So 3 of the unbeaten teams have done the job. The fourth, a little tenuous right now, is 21-13. Wayne had the lead last I saw on Ashland Greenwood. We'll keep our eye on that one. Wahoo and Adams Central already officially on to the semis. 2nd and 10. Smith looking deep, underthrown and incomplete. Sorry, actually overthrown. I thought he was throwing to the near side receiver, Gage Smith. Instead, looking over the middle. Too tall, and it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, we're going downfield trying to make a big play. And I think at this point you have to do those things. Try to get a quick score. And Pierce is going to try to slow them down, get the football back, and run this thing out.
Big play just happened in Ashland Greenwood Wayne, and we'll talk about it after this play. 3rd down and 10 for Ord. Smith checking the sideline. 2 receivers to either side. Smith surveying, flushed, steps up, still going, up well shy of first down yardage. So Ashland Greenwood down 8, returned a punt for a touchdown against Wayne. It was called back because of a penalty. They're still down 8 in the 4th quarter. And Ord going to have to punt the ball away here on 4th down.
Well, even doesn't matter who's out there for Pierce, just lots of speed. It's tough to run away from this defense. Smith tried to scramble, make a play. High snap here.
Well handled by Meyer, and another beautiful punt. Boy, Coach Nate Wells said before the game might be the best kicker in the state of Nebraska. I'd be hard-pressed to argue against him the way he's played tonight.
He's an excellent place kicker. We know that. He's kicked 3 field goals this year over 40 yards. 2 42-yarders and a 44-yarder. That's outstanding. And he's only missed 3 extra points on the season. So he's solid, but he might even be a better punter out there. He's put some real hang time on those, and outstanding kicker.
So we got some new players in for Pierce. Freeman is still in at quarterback. But in the backfield, they've got Coontrod and Dean Orwig. So Pierce emptying the bench a bit. 1st and 10 from the 30. It's Orwig. Stacked up, not much. Got a couple. It will be 2nd down and 8.
Well, the thing with Pierce, if you're a Pierce running back, you've carried the ball several times this year. You've had opportunities, whether you're the 1st string or you're the 3rd string. I mean, usually Pierce has such big leads. You get your subs a lot of game action, so it's not like they haven't had the opportunity coming in here to this ball game. And I think you're leaving Freeman out there just for ball security. You don't want to have a fresh quarterback get a fumble here.
Well, now they do have a fresh quarterback. Abram Scholting is in.
Oh, there you go.
2nd down, huge run there. Coontrod went down to a knee, actually bounced back up as he spun through the tackle, but marked down at the 41. Coontrod with a 9-yard gain. He's had a nice night tonight. That his 7th carry for 43 yards.
Well, I like this Scholting. I think he's going to be an excellent quarterback.
Yep.
This season's still ticking along. A lot of football left for Pierce, you would hope if you're a Pierce fan, but almost excited to see how the offense evolves with Scholting out there. He's got a good arm. I believe they'll probably be throwing the football a little bit more next year.
Scholting hands off, fullback. That's Orwig, maybe a yard. That's all. He's sandwiched. Big defensive lineman in there for Ord. That's Jacob Brown in there, the big 240-pounder, making the stop. 2nd down and about 9.5. So, looks like Pierce improving to 11-0, farther than last year. 2nd down, call it 10. The deep back gets the carry here, squirting through defenders across the 45. Coontrod gets to midfield. That's an 8-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and short. Coontrod will be back next year. He'll be probably getting the bulk of the carries next season. 3rd and a yard for midfield. Split wide to the left now. Jaden Sporletter for Pierce. Clock keeps rolling. And Abram Scholting checks the sideline. Clock ticking down to the final 5 minutes of Ord's season. A flag comes in as Krunterod gets into Ord territory. We'll check on the flight. There's been a lot of laundry tonight, both sides.
Yeah, a lot of penalties on this ball game. And another one against Pierce. What is that, 11 now on the ball game?
That's 11 penalties on the Jays. That a 10-yarder. Yeah, they had, I think, 11 or 12 last week against Chase County.
Yep,
so
double
you
digits,
can't have
2
11
weeks in a
penalties.
row.
They got Adams Central next week, a team that only allowed Aurora to get 103 yards of offense tonight. Aurora,
Wow.
only 103 yards of offense. Adams Central defense is for real.
Yeah, that's a solid football program at Adams Central, and their outstanding team this season.
Schulting going to the air on play action in traffic. Oh my goodness, what a catch. Garrett Meyer gets himself a first down on the 9-yard pitch and catch. Schulting playing in traffic and Meyer bails him out.
That's a heck of a catch. Schulting, Schulting threaded the needle there a little bit.
Yeah. This was the connection on the touchdown play at the end of the half. Great catch. On the coverage is Zach Smith. So in Ord territory, 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. Ben Bramer checks back into the game. The 165-pound freshman, this is his first game back. He's been out for quite a while as well. Handoff, deep back, David Dale drilled at the 45-yard line. Got a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, as we're approaching 4 minutes to go in the game, Pierce up 28. I think we can go ahead and talk about the Adams Central Pierce next week. What a titanic matchup that one's going to be.
The most prolific quarterback in Nebraska high school football history in Adams Central set the new record this year. And he'll be taking on a Pierce secondary that honestly was a little soft tonight. Ord moved the ball through the air on Pierce tonight. I think Adams Central is going to notice that in the scouting reports this week. Schulting to the air. And did he catch that? He caught that. Oh no, intercepted.
Intercepted.
Either way, great play. I thought that Bramer had come up with it. Instead, picked off by Johnny DeRiso.
Well, great catch. It wasn't Bramer, it was DeRiso that time with an interception.
Taking up, boy, Bramer almost came down with this as we look at our Madison County Bank replay.
He went up over the shoulder.
Great job by DeRiso to come down with it there. I thought when Bramer reached behind his hand, he had the football. But as it is, 1st and 10 Pierce. And Ord will try to end their season on a positive note, starting at the 16. Smith looking to the air, pressured, fires, incomplete. Was looking near side to, or rather far side of the field, I should say, to Bentley Riley. And Smith, boy, he's struggled through the air. 5 of 10 in the first half, just 2 of 7 for 12 yards in the second half.
Yeah, it's been a tough go here in the second half. And Pierce really flexing their muscles here defensively.
Second down and 10 from the 16. Smith on the rollout. Fires near side in traffic, picked off, and Pierce, the interception by Colton Fritz, his 2nd of the season.
Well, that's going to do it. Pierce is going to win this football game, and good interception there. Now Ord, their season's going to end with 4 losses, 7-4. They were the runners-up last year. Lost to Aurora, who was the state champ, and both teams are going to lose tonight, so we'll have 2 new teams in the state finals this season.
And last year, Pierce, of course, lost in the quarterfinals. Adams Central knocked out in the second round last year as well. So now Pierce and Adams Central will meet in the semifinals with a trip to Lincoln on the line. 1st and 10 from the 33 for Pierce. After the interception, here's Dale. And he's brought down almost immediately. Got brought down to the 35. I think it'll be 2nd down and 12. So Coach Mark Bramer going to get win number 197. If they win the state championship this year, Bramer will be stuck at 199 for a full year.
Coach Bramer, one of those coaches out there, all he does is win.
In motion to the near side is Sporletter. They hand off up across the 35 to the 33-yard line. That is number 42 for Pierce, Luke Collison, his first carry. And that is the 8th different running back for Pierce tonight.
Sorry, Eric, you think there's any relief for the Pierce fans that you're coming on the road the second round? You just after what happened last year, Pierce obviously a better football team, at least a tougher football team, I think, overall. And they get a big win here.
Jaden Roth going to the air, incomplete. He wanted Bramer on the far side, pretty well covered. And it'll be 4th down and 10. They're trying to get Ben Bramer back into the swing of things. He had really started to become a very good weapon for them. Of course, that big 6'3" frame that he's got, just the freshman, but was really starting to get some momentum as a tight end out of the backfield. Lost him to injury. Having him back out there, if they can get him back in the swing of things, not that they need anymore, but it just gives them another weapon.
Another weapon, and that, it's tough enough to defend Pierce in their running game. You have to worry about guys like Bramer coming out there catching passes. That's just one more, difficult thing that a defensive coordinator has to worry about.
4th down and 10. Roth to the air again. Throws, caught wide open, touchdown. That's Collison. Out across the 20 to the 19-yard line to the 18-yard line. 15-yard gain from Roth to Collison to keep the drive alive. Don't forget, after the game, we'll be talking to our Dream It, Do It player of the game, head coach Mark Bramer as well. Pierce makes it difficult to pick a player of the game, don't they?
They really do. There's lots of guys that have played outstanding football in this ball game. So we'll have to pull a name out of a hat probably.
1st and 10 from the 18. The handoff, leaping into the defense, is Michael Krunterod, the second Krunterod to carry the ball tonight, out across the 15 to the 14, about 3.
Ward 7-4 on the year, 3 losses. 2 of them are to Pierce.
Yep.
And 1 to Adams Central. So it's been a tough schedule for the Chanticleers.
Yep. That other loss coming to Gothenburg, which they had the chance to avenge. They do not get to avenge the loss to Pierce. Up the middle of the carry here to Tyler Race, and here we go. Handing out varsity letters left and right. Race with the 3-yard gain. Down to about 90 seconds to go in this one.
Yeah, neither coach going to stop the clock. Now the clock is stopped, right as I say that.
Officials timeout here to double check. Now checking into the game for Pierce is Ritter a strike. He's in, split to the near side. And they had Ord with an illegal participation penalty. So you'll see the game, folks. Spread the word. Pierce at Adams Central. That's a game you'll see on News Channel Nebraska next Friday. We'll be able to bring you that semifinal contest. All eyes on Hastings, Nebraska for what should be a titanic matchup in Class C1 next week.
Now it's going to be 4 quarters of outstanding football. I can't wait.
Meanwhile, still looking for an update on the Wayne-Ashland Greenwood game. Handoff up the middle. This is Michael Krunterod inside the 5. Down to the 4, give him 5 more yards. As we get down to the approach the final minute of this one.
Yeah, Pierce is going to go to the victory formation, so Coach Bramer going to run the clock out. Pierce is going to advance to the semifinals.
What an impressive win here tonight. This is a good Ord team. At one point, this game was 20-14 after the 92-yard kick return by Tommy Stevens. Pierce completely took control of the game from there. Dalton Freeman, he had 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 through the air. He was a big part of it. Brett Tinker, Carson Astrike, all 3 of them over 100 yards rushing. Tinker with some big plays defensively as well. Pierce, the final likely snap there as we come up to the final 30 seconds of this game, and the Pierce Blue Jays. Last season didn't end the way they wanted in the second round. This time around, they keep going. Pierce Blue Jays keep playing. It's a final in Ord on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard. The Pierce Blue Jays 49, Ord Chanticleers 21. We'll be back with our player of the game and Mark Bramer next on NCN.
It's your favorite morning coffee place, your hangout with your little one place. And now with special pricing on Showplace cabinetry, you can enjoy these moments in the design and showplace of your dreams. Remodel or new construction, we have an array of finishes and styles for your kitchen, bath, and home. The time is now to build a space for your lifetime of memories to share place with Showplace.
Need high-speed internet? Want the best in TV programming? There's no need to make countless calls to 1-800 numbers to get the services you want. Get both TV and internet with just one call to me, Wes, at Satellite Central. Everyone's needs are different, and we can help you find the best option for high-speed internet. And we've been providing TV programming from Dish and DirecTV for over 20 years. We have a local team of installers that you know and can trust. So make one call to us at Satellite Central.
People ask me what I want to be when I grow up. I don't know. All I know is where I want to be. A place where people believe in me and listen to my ideas. Where people care. Where everyone belongs. Where no dream is too big. My teacher says everything we need is right where we are. She says all you have to do is turn up your dream switch. There's a reason we call this place Greater Nebraska. Greater Nebraska.
Raise your hand if you have a phone.
I'm literally living on my phone all the time.
There's no denying social media has influenced the mental health of kids. The challenges as a teacher has changed a lot because of that.
It's difficult for kids right now. They go home and it's constant, it's still there, it's always there. It never goes away, they never turn it off. That's gonna wear on you. That's gonna wear on anybody. We had no idea these kids were being tortured like this.
Fall is here, school has started, and harvest is upon us. Stop at Senex Shop Easy for all your needs on the way to or from games, activities, or fieldwork. Or grab a pizza for on your way home. We have lots of food choices and beverages. At Shop Easy, we are always here and ready to serve. We are open 24/7 with plenty of parking and seating area if you need a break. Shop Easy wishes good luck to all the area teams. And as always, remember good sportsmanship. Shop Easy is owned and operated by the Santee Sioux Nation.
At Farmers Pride, we offer multiple grain marketing options for you to maximize your profit. Our producer delivery grain program offers the best possible prices at local and regional processors, direct from your farm. Farmers Pride provides simple to understand strategies to help manage your current and future risk. So before you load up the truck, give us a call and let's discuss the best options for your hard-earned crop. Locally owned in Northeast Nebraska, your dollars stay in your local economy. Farmers Pride, in the field, on your farm, in your community.
The morning doesn't always start when you want it to. It starts when it has to. And day or night, we're up when you are. Through the good times, through the tough times. For the necessary and the unexpected. Even when you don't need us at all, we're just a light switch away. And when it's finally time to call it a night, we keep the lights on, ready to do it all over again. Nebraska Public Power District. Powering your everyday, every day.
It's your favorite morning coffee place, your hangout with your little one place. And now with special pricing on Showplace cabinetry, you can enjoy these moments in the design and showplace of your dreams. Remodel or new construction, we have an array of finishes and styles for your kitchen, bath, and home. The time is now to build a space for your lifetime of memories to share place with Showplace.
D&L Towing and Recovery in Norfolk. There to help in any situation, including off-road service. They don't let anything get in their way or slow them down. Major accidents, stuck in the mud, or just in need of a tow. D&L Towing and Recovery will come to the rescue 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Local or long distance, you only need to remember 2 letters, D&L. Visit DNLTowingRecoveryNorfolk.com or give them a call anytime at 402-371-7995.
The morning doesn't always start when you want it to. It starts when it has to. And day or night, we're up when you are. Through the good times, through the tough times. For the necessary and the unexpected. Even when you don't need us at all, we're just a light switch away. And when it's finally time to call it a night, we keep the lights on, ready to do it all over again. Nebraska Public Power District. Powering your everyday, every day.
I am Kelsey Kreinert, and I am a family nurse practitioner. I currently practice in the Faith Regional Physician Services Pierce Family Medicine Clinic. I care for the whole family, and I thoroughly enjoy family practice, but I do have special interests in women's healthcare and pediatrics. I believe that providing high-quality care often requires a team-based approach. We're very fortunate that Faith Regional has a wide network of specialists right here in Northeast Nebraska who are willing to lend their expertise and provide top-notch care for our patients right here at home. I would like patients to know that I will take the time to listen to their story. I will take the time to get to know them individually, and it is truly my honor to earn their trust and to have the privilege of providing care for them.
What started as a $1 donation from Midwest Bank employees to wear jeans on Fridays has turned into $64,000 donated back to over 30 different organizations in the communities that Midwest Bank serves. Whoever said jeans are always a good idea was right. Midwest Bank, doing the little things in the community that make a big difference.
Oh, Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank.
The morning doesn't always start when you want it to. It starts when it has to. And day or night, we're up when you are. Through the good times, through the tough times. For the necessary and the unexpected. Even when you don't need us at all, we're just a light switch away. And when it's finally time to call it a night, we keep the lights on, ready to do it all over again. Nebraska Public Power District. Powering your everyday, every day.
Our post-game show presented by Norfolk Auto Center, Northeast Nebraska's volume leader, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple always. The final score, 49-21. A big part of that, our Dream It Do It player of the game. Let your skills pay the bills. Check them out at dreamitdoit.com. It's Dalton Freeman standing by with Lou Siefker.
All right, Eric, thanks a lot. Pierce advances with a big win over Ord here tonight in Ord, and I'm joined now by our Dream It Do It player of the game, Dalton Freeman. And boy, Dalton, what a ball game. It was an interesting one. That second quarter, your guys had the football about 11 of the 12 minutes. Was that something you expected to be able to do, was to win that time of possession battle?
We always have that in the back of our mind to try to just have the ball longer than them and keep the ball out of their hands and keep their defense on the field. So God got that done in the second quarter.
Now, one of the things we brought up before the game was just how much did what happened last year in the second round, did that motivate you, especially as a senior, to get past the second round and keep this thing going?
Yeah, it was heartbreaking last year, but I knew that was my junior year, so I had another year to come back, and me and my classmates all got together and said we're going to do it this year, and we're down to the semifinals now, so we're ready to keep going.
Now, you don't like missing ball games. You missed 5 this year, especially your senior year, but is that maybe a blessing in disguise? You feel fresh at this stage of the season?
Yeah, I feel fresh, and I'm glad once again my trainers did a great job, and they took the time with me and made sure I was back to 100%, and now I'm glad I can play now in the playoffs.
Well, you're one of 3 backs for Pierce tonight, over 100 yards. You had a couple long runs. Talk about those a little bit. What did you see out there? How are you able to break those long runs and make big plays here tonight for your ball club?
It was all linemen. They did a great job, and they were working as hard as they could and making blocks for me and making holes, and then also the backs were doing a great job blocking for me, and then it just opens up big holes, and it's a nice run behind them.
You feeling really confident right now that you've beaten Ord? You got Adams Central coming up next week. What do you think about that matchup?
We're excited. We're ready to play them, and they're a spread team, so we got to be sharpen up on our pass defense, but we think we can get them and ready to go on Lincoln.
Well, Dalton, you had a heck of a game. Congratulations on the victory, and congratulations on being our player of the game.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's Dalton Freeman, our player of the game. Eric, let's go ahead and send it back to you for just a moment. We'll see if we can get Coach Bremer over here in just a second.
All right. Thank you very much, Lou Siefker. Freeman, our player of the game. 145 yards on the ground tonight, 3 touchdowns, and that on 13 carries. Freeman through the air, 4 of 6 for 66 yards, and another touchdown as Pierce, by my count, outgains Ord tonight 549 to 187. All right, let's take a look at our top plays real quick. Those presented by Elkhorn Valley Bank. State quarterfinal matchup, Pierce taking on Ord. 4 seed against the 12 seed. Pierce beat Ord earlier this year, 28-14, and they started this game well. On the opening drive, it's Dalton Freeman, the quarterback, in from 9 yards out, and Pierce up 7-0. Not even 3 minutes into this contest, but Ord would answer. Great play here from Zach Smith, one of the better quarterbacks in Class C1. Replacing an All-Stater, might be an All-Stater himself, able to find Bentley Riley for the touchdown strike there, and we're tied at 7. But Pierce does what Pierce does. They answer again. A 39-yard rushing touchdown here by Dalton Freeman. Pierce up 14-7 at that point. They would get the ball back, finish off the drive. This is Carson A-Strike. Look at the blockers he's got in front of him. This Pierce offensive line, I'd put him up against anybody in the state. It's 20-7. Ord needs a big play. They're going to turn to their star junior to get it. Tommy Stevens, this young man ended up over 1,500 yards on the season. Watch him bowl over Pierce defenders on this kick return. Breaks to the outside, and from there, he's got nothing but green grass in front of him. 92 yards on the kickoff return, and Ord back within 20-14 at that point. But Pierce would take over from there. Here's Freeman on the next drive. Wide open. A-Strike makes a great play in the open field to the end zone. Pierce up 28-14 at that point. This the last play of the first half. Abram Schulting on the wide receiver toss, wide open, all alone in the end zone. Garrett Meyer. It's 35-14 at the break. Second half. Here's Freeman again. 145 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns, including this one as he tosses the defender aside into the end zone. That was essentially the dagger as Pierce would roll from there. Ord would get into the end zone with Tommy Stevens. Again, over 1,500 rushing yards, 16 rushing touchdowns. A great year for the junior. He'll be a player to watch next year. But Carson A-Strike to the outside. Pierce had 3 players over 100 yards on the ground, including A-Strike. This 51-yard touchdown run would seal it, and Pierce is on to the semifinals. 49-21 the final. The Blue Jays will get Adams Central in the semis next week. And your top plays presented by Elkhorn Valley Bank. Visit them for all your banking needs with locations in Norfolk, Hoskins, Pierce, and Wayne. Back to the field with Coach Mark Bramer.
All right, Eric, thanks a lot. Joined now by Victoria's head coach Mark Bramer. And, Coach, it was kind of the epitome of Pierce football there, especially in that first half and really the whole game. 3 100-yard rushers. That second quarter, you dominated time of possession. You had to feel pretty good about doing what you wanted to do as a Pierce football team.
Yeah, our guys up front really played well. Cage Eisinger, one of our offensive tackles, as well as Colby Rickert. And Cruz Gleason played well in there, spelling those guys at tackle. And then our guard spot, Seth Valverde, played hard. Carter Rourke is a tremendous guard. And then we rotated a couple juniors in there, Trevor Pettit and Tristan Miller. And they played well tonight. And then Dylan Swoboda did a nice job at center. And then we were able to rotate another center in there with Hunter Raby. Our tight ends are coming around too. Garrett Meyer has been our kind of go-to guy in terms of running behind, and he catches it well. And then, we've got a couple of younger guys, sophomore Colton Fritz, and then a junior Luke Collison, who's both those guys are becoming physical football players for us. And then we've got a freshman that's playing a little bit too, and Ben Bramer, and he's starting to come around a little bit in terms of the physicality of the game. So, and then we've got talented guys in the backfield. The 3 guys who call, they're with Dalton Freeman and Carson A-Strike and Brett Tinker. Those guys are all warriors, play hard and really play well. And then we got a change of pace guy with Jeremiah Kunchrod, and then David Dales with a little bit bigger back and brings some things to the table too. So all in all, sometimes your offense can be your best defense. Our defense played well for the most part, except for a couple plays. But when you can keep an offense like that with talent like they've got and the scheme that they've got off the field, if you can keep them off the field, that's the best thing.
When their offense was on the field, you had guys step up and make big plays. Certainly, you want your big players making big plays this time of the year. I thought Brett Tinker had one of his best games. Really made some huge plays there coming in from that linebacker spot.
He did. Had some tough runs from the fullback position. I've been fortunate to be at Pierce for 25 years, coached 24 of those 25, and I've coached a lot of tremendous football players and tremendous young men. Feel very blessed to be in that position for this long. I would put Brett Tinker right up there with a lot of those guys in terms of one of my best.
Talk about the trick play there at the end of the half with Abram Schulting. First of all, I've been impressed with his arm. He's got a nice arm. You got a good quarterback for the future. Was that a play you put in for this game, or is that just something that you've been working on all season and that was the right time to use it?
I think maybe we installed it about week 3, and then we just have worked and pecked away and worked at it and worked at it and worked at it. And so I can't take credit for it because I didn't call it. I designed it, but Dalton Freeman made the call when we called the timeout with 3 seconds left. But we put Abram in that spot. He's a talented kid, and he throws the football, takes football very serious, and the quarterback position very seriously. He's had to play along with Chaden Roth and fill in when Dalton Freeman went out week 3 down here in September playing. Both those guys, Chaden and Abram, have done a nice job. So, and Garrett Meyer had a nice catch there. Sometimes when you're wide open, everybody thinks that's the easiest one, but sometimes that ball's coming in and it seems like, it's going to be pretty slippery. But he did a nice job of securing the football. And then up front, we were able to, give Abram enough time so that he could throw a strike.
I know coaches always find something to work on and to maybe talk to the team about. Any concern about 2 games in a row now in the playoffs with double-digit penalties?
Well, I don't know. I guess, to go through a game, it's a good officiating crew. We're going to play hard. We're going to play through the whistle. And, my guys, as much as we run the football, sometimes you're going to see that. When you've got a 3-5 defense like they run, you got a lot of slanting and blitzing that's happening. So sometimes when you have that, you got that. So, you know what? We just got to play through that. We talked to the kids about, when you get adverse situations, you get in a 1st and 20 or you get in a 2nd and 15, you got to be able to hit the reset button and you got to be able to come back on the next play and make things happen. And our guys have really answered, all those situations tonight.
Ashland Greenwood next week. What are your thoughts on that game?
Well, I've got Adams Central, actually. Ashland Greenwood got beat by Wayne tonight. So, anyways, Adams Central, we've never played them. Well, I take that back. In 2007, we played them in the playoffs, in the quarterfinals. I know they're a spread offense. Seems like that's all we see anymore. So, and they got a kid who can throw it and a kid who can catch it really well, and then their running back's one of the better ones in Class C1. And I know they're good defensively. So, we'll do a lot of work here tonight and tomorrow and put our plan together on Sunday and then be ready to hit the ground running on Monday.
Pierce and Adams Central next week. I can't wait, Coach. We'll be there. Congratulations on the win tonight. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. I appreciate your coverage.
All right, anytime, Coach. We'll send it back to you, Eric.
All right, thank you, Lou. Don't forget you can check us out online. Throw us a follow on Twitter at NCN Sports. You see the Facebook, the Instagram as well. Do it for the gram, folks. Get online, check us out. We've got folks all over the state fanning out, giving you finals from around the state of Nebraska this evening. Well, 3 of the 4 unbeatens held serve tonight. But how about Wayne America, the Wayne Blue Devils, celebrating tonight as they upset Adams Central and will face Wahoo in the semifinals. Meanwhile, here on NCN next week, you'll see it in Hastings, Pierce, Adams Central with a Class C1 state championship trip on the line. Until then, for my broadcast partner, Lou Siefker, Will Ryan, and the truck, the entire NCN Sports crew, I'm Eric McKay. You've been watching the Norfolk Auto Center postgame show on NCN.